Welcome everybody to this sunny afternoon here at the Bendigo East Bowls Club. We are about to live stream the men's pairs finals. Thank you for your patience for those at home. We had some inclement weather the last 24 hours and we've had to do a bit of a rejiggle some of the schedules of the events that we have to finalise, but we are going to at least get the men's pairs final underway very shortly. This is the second end of the trial ends, and then we'll be starting the match straight afterwards. I'm Josh Thornton, Participation Coordinator at Bowls Victoria, and I am joined in the seat today, not by my normal co-host Jimmy Whitehead, who's disappeared for a little bit, but by Bowls Australia and Bowls Victoria Pathways coach Ian J.R. Ewing. Welcome to the commentary, JR.
Yes, mate, thank you. It's a pleasure to be in the co-driver's seat once again. Whilst Jimmy's a little incapacitated with a sore tooth, but I'm sure that it's going to be a great game, and Jimmy will be back here at some stage during the game.
Yeah, no doubt. He's just going to try and fix himself up a little bit, and he'll be definitely joining us at some stage. The men's pairs is going to be played by the Mornington and Peninsula pair of Gerald Schryver and Grant Catterick, who both play out of the City of Frankston Bowls Club. And the other pair is their up-and-coming duo, future stars of our sport, JR, Cooper Wescombe and Jarryd Davies from the Northern Gateway region and Glenroy Bowls Club.
Yeah, quite right, mate. Cooper and Jarryd are both graduates from the junior squads over the last year or two. Good to see that they've made this final, and also to Grant and Gerald from City of Frankston. Great effort for them to get to a state final.
Yeah, a little bit about the players. I must admit I wasn't familiar with the Mornington Peninsula pairing. I said they both play out of the City of Frankston. Gerald's using a set of Drake's Conquest, and Grant is using a 25-year-old set of Dreamlines that he just keeps getting re-stamped, JR, so he must love them. This is the first time Gerald's ever been to Champions Week, so it's not a bad effort. First time at Champions Week and making it a state final. And Grant is a former New Zealander who got runners-up the New Zealand Champions about 15 years ago. He's won about 15 region titles, and they both played for the Mornington Peninsula region there a couple of weeks ago in Shepparton. You probably know a little bit about the two young fellas, JR. What do you know about them?
Well, like I said, they're both graduates from our junior squads over the past few seasons. Jarryd is currently in the emerging Jackaroo squad, so I do have a little bit to do with Jarryd, seeing I manage their weekly output through practice and other programs that he's required to accomplish each week.
Yeah, and they're also both a Vic Open Triples winner and a Vic Open Pairs winner. Obviously ex-state junior reps, and Jarryd, on top of what he's obviously being a part of the emerging Jackaroos, is a current Bowls Victoria and Bowls Australia male junior player of the year as well too. So highly touted young Jarryd, and Cooper, who he plays a lot with, obviously at home at Penn and all these events. They obviously combine very well. Yeah,
no doubt, and with myself being a member of Northern Gateway, unfortunately in the semi-final of the region, I actually had to come up against them, and they give us a nice toweling. So if I sound a little biased during the commentary, I won't be trying to be, but it may shine through on occasions.
All good, JR. On the rink next door, you may see in the background, we actually had the men's triples final currently being played. It's being played by Sandbelt's Ali Forsyth and Geelong's Stevie Sullivan. Both have had great weeks already. Ali is currently leading 8-1 at this stage after 4 ends. So there's been some scoring going on there. We'll keep you updated with those scores, as well as the ladies' pairs semi-finals being played. And it's currently being played between Ian Miles from Ovens and Murray and Kelly McCurran from Sandbelt. And their score is currently 13-8 after 12 ends. All these matches are 18 ends duration, and there's no time limits. And we're about to start the match, JR.
Yeah, Jack's been put down and Gerald's on the mat on his backhand, and away we go.
Cooper's using an Optima and Jarryd's using an Evolve, so they're both using an Aero Bowl. As Cooper has a great start there.
Yeah, perfect start from Coops with his first bowl, right behind the jack.
What would you say the pace is, JR?
Looks around about 14-ish, I would say, Josh.
We had a little bit of rain yesterday afternoon, which caused some havoc with the schedule, and then we had a little bit of rain overnight as well too. So, touch wood, it's sunny today. We're not going to get any more, and we should be able to finalise all these matches. So, Carrie, sorry, I didn't say who the leader was of that ladies' pairs match. 13-8 in favour of the Ovens and Murray team.
Just a little short with the second bowl there, Cooper.
JR, I think you've got how the two teams progressed to the final there.
Yeah, well, Grant and Gerald, both sides had walkovers in the round of 16, which is quite a unique occurrence.
Yep.
So both walkovers in the round of 16. In the round of 8 or quarterfinals, Grant and Gerald knocked over Graham Edwards from Kyneton Golf, and in the semi, Brad Lancaster from Lakes Entrance. And the young boys knocked over Brett Marnie in the last 8, and Michael Coram and Shane O'Loughlin in the semi-final.
Jarryd, just testing that, commentary side of the green. It's probably been the hand that's been narrow all week. It's still a good hand, but just been narrower than the other hand, and he got stuck out there a little bit. Couple looseners there from Jarryd.
Yeah, right line that time.
Yep.
But just a metre short.
Would say Gerald played his this ditch side here on the first couple bowls, but I reckon there's every chance now he switches the other hand, looks to sit the bowl, turn the jack around the corner, JR.
Yeah, it looks the obvious shot, just to get a little movement on that jack. And you've picked it in one there, Josh. Straight onto his forehand there.
Just needs to hang a bit longer. It's probably another second.
Yeah, just ran through a metre there.
Yeah. The idea is to get to amongst those bowls, I reckon, JR, and just to try and protect a little bit of danger there if the jack happens to come around the corner.
Yeah, that's the plan from the Northern Gateway pair. Looking a little tight, that one. Better wait.
Speed's looking alrighty.
Yeah, it's a pretty good shot there from Cooper. He's covered and counted. He'd be happy with that.
There's no doubt the two young fellas will get up and about too, JR, if they're playing a couple of good shots.
Yeah, they're quite enthusiastic and they don't mind letting them rip every now and then either.
I have seen Jarryd drive a bit of late, and he's one of the bigger drivers I reckon I'm seeing these days.
Yeah, he does generate quite a lot of pace.
He'd be hoping he doesn't have to play any of this match.
The player's just getting caught on that wider side there, Josh. Not taking enough grass. Wind's just a little gusty there.
Yeah, the wind's coming from the south again. That's when we started this event last week. It was probably doing that, and then it swung around there for a couple of days there when we had some of the better weather, and then must coincide when we get some bad weather. It's coming from the south again.
I'm sure that our resident weather expert, Aaron Tompkins, will message in and confirm your opinion there.
He was providing advice last night. We were having the rain and everything you predicted was wrong, so I'm not sure we're going to go back to Tonks anymore for the weather.
So we don't see him replacing Jane Bunn?
No, not anytime soon, JR. He's not visually as good either.
Yeah, best we leave that alone.
We'll make sure we get the players to... Yeah, Gerald's just picked up. He was standing in front of the camera there. It's all good. We'll remind him in a polite way if you need to see it again. Asking for it to drop.
Ooh.
Oh, dead end. Oh, we got to replay the first end, JR.
Oh, Jimmy will be happy with that. That just bought him another 7 minutes.
Good hit, Grant. Good hit.
So, Josh, we're here at Bendigo East for the start of the men's pairs.
Yes. Again, JR.
Oh, it was just a practice end.
Practice one. We've had a roll up at 3 ends instead of 2. Actually, I've seen a couple of games this week when we've been sitting here live streaming where the first ends had to be replayed again. So it's not uncommon. Score next door is currently 9-1 after 5 ends. And that's in favour of the Sandbelt team.
And it does appear that Ovens and Murray have got away from the Sandbelt girls in the semi-final of the ladies' pairs there too. 16-8 their way.
They jumped the Sandbelt team and then they've sort of clawed back a little bit and now they've gone away again. So someone also asked who was playing with Stevie Sullivan in the triples. The two players are Ray Butler and Ben Russell from the Queenscliff Bowls Club. Good correction there from Gerald. Yeah, good lead bowls there all round.
Well, Cooper seems to have found the line on that that wider side there, Josh.
It's probably been the hand more predominantly used, if on offer, for the week. I think a lot of players like the fact they can guarantee getting back down the centre line. So um, that's historically what we've watched during the week. But there's still been some cracking bowls played on this other side of the hand during the week. I mean, the one that stands out to me was Matty Flapper's one where he got the 7 late in that fours final. And it's just.
But you're right. In general, when you're drawing, you really want to be on the wider side, as you said, trying to get the bowl back to the centre line. Playing with a little bit of weight, tend to move towards the tighter hand.
Les Johnson, who was here as part of the West Coast representative for the triples from memory, from Koroit. He went home last night after the day, and he said he got a fair chunk of that weather on the way home, and he was towing the caravan, and it was a bit windier the closer he got to Warrnambool on the trip home. So I'm glad you got home there, Les. Yeah, good bowl there by Grant.
Yeah, obviously we've got people travelling from all over the state, and anyone that's been here at Bendigo, we sincerely hope that everyone's made it back nice, safe and sound, and looking forward to get back on the green at some stage in the near future.
I know you don't like questions on the spot, JA. You've already told me this. But we actually got Bowls Victoria announced the City Country squads. For those who may be joining us that haven't heard a little bit about that particular series, would you like to let the listeners know a little bit about the City Country?
Yeah, well, the City Country game is just a bit of a revamp on the state trials from the past. It'll be one of the events that the state selectors will be using to formulate their sides throughout the season, with the nationals being played in October now as a major BA event. The whole schedule of state bowls and the calendar of state bowls has had to be changed. There was no point in playing games in December and January, March, when the Alley Shield and the other national events would be played in October. So we thought it was due for a change, ramp it up a little bit, get a bit more competition involved, have the players playing for something, representing someone, rather than just going out there and playing for ticks and crosses against their bowls. So from all reports, those that have been selected and people just in general are thinking that it's a pretty good idea, and a couple of weeks away it'll be a big event, I think.
No, it should be good. I myself love the idea of the concept, and should be great. And obviously we're both doing both the men and the ladies as open trials. The ladies are playing the weekend of the 22nd and 23rd in Bendigo, and the men back up the following week on the 29th and 30th. The Northern Gateway boys would be currently holding shot at the moment. It's a pretty good head, JR, as we've been sort of watching it establish. Not a lot of bowls outside the yardstick there.
No, they'd be happy the way that it's formulated. No one's really got a major advantage in the head at the moment, even though Northern Gateway be holding one.
Cooper's liking this. He just had to get under that bowl. He still actually shimmied all the way up nearly for another.
Yeah, it's probably stopped in a reasonable spot there for Northern Gateway. Be a bit tougher for Grant to get back to the jack there now.
As we see our events manager come out with the 2 scorecards, neither had actually decided to take them out with them. Thankfully we had a dead end the first end, JR.
Oh, that's funny.
I do know of a guy who used to skip a fair bit in his day, and anyway, this particular year he was playing second in his pennant rink. And I think it was either his first or second game playing second after playing skip for a couple of years, and he got to the 21st end of the match and hadn't scored once. So he had to basically go to the opposition and copy theirs, and he had no right of argument or complaint no matter what.
No, I have heard similar stories of skippers, long-time skippers, moving back into different positions and not having any idea what the roles and responsibilities of those positions are.
Jarryd doesn't look that far away here. Just turns Cooper's a little bit. Oh, could have counted.
Yeah, where he's knocked that one up into the count now. Grant just looking to dead draw the shot here around that front bowl of Jarryd's. Looking just a tad overweight.
Yeah, he wasn't far away. Jarryd asked Cooper whether he's back in to draw another one, and Cooper said no.
I think he might take that as a challenge.
He's not far
Well,
away.
he's had a crack at it.
Three it is.
What a great shot.
Backed himself. And there was probably potentially a bit of danger there if he happened to be a little quick, JR.
Well, the key to adding a shot like that is to make sure you take the right grass.
Yeah, don't cross the line.
Don't cross the line. Back yourself to put it down the right track, and weight becomes irrelevant. You're not going to make a mistake if you're taking the right grass.
So the score next door in the men's triples has tightened up a little bit, JR. The score is now 9-6 after 7 ends in favour of Sandbelt over Geelong.
Yeah, like you said earlier, it's been a great week for Stevie Sullivan and Ali, so you would have expected Steve to hit his straps at some stage. Been getting a few comments about my voice there, Josh. Yes, I've had a bit of a cold. So, and to Max Kleiny, definitely a cold, and not what you're suggesting, my friend.
Ian Whitehead's joining us from sunny Ovens and Murray. She's keen on the scores of the ladies' pairs semi-final. Currently the ladies 19-8 in favour of Ovens and Murray over Sandbelt after 14 ends.
Bit of a scrappy start to this end here, Josh.
It's definitely a different length. I mean, the Mornington Peninsula guys rolled a medium length and then probably a shorter length on the replayed first end, and then Cooper and Jarryd have opted for the long end. It's probably caught them all out so far.
It is a length that they dominated the semi-final in.
Those Dreamlines of Grants, which he said were 25 years old, they've probably got a bit of turn in them, JR. Those first Dreamlines that come out, they always had a bit more turn than the Dreamline XGs.
No, that's a fact. And I resonate a little with Grant because that's what I'm using at the moment.
What, Dreamlines?
Yeah, I've gone back to my original Dreamlines.
Restamped, of course, JR.
Not sure where I got that stamp, out of a Wheaties packet or something, but for me personally, it's that scallop shell grip that they have.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yes.
That took me back to using them.
Personally, I use an arrow bowl, and I use a Z scoop for the same reasoning, JR, that it helps me hang on to the bowl.
Just not down in time there from Gerald.
Cooper's just probably going to get down to Jarrod's bowl here. It's probably counting.
And next door, the little master, Stevie Sullivan's won another end, so that tightens up further again at 9-7.
He'll just plug away one end at a time, won't he, JR?
Yeah, well, that would be their general game plan. Just winning ends, chipping away, turning the scoreboard over. Cooper indicates 2 to Jarryd on the crossover. Yeah, lovely weight then from Jarryd, just caught out a couple of feet wide. Grant on the attack on his backhand. Gets one out. Good shot.
I wouldn't think Jarryd would be doing something too dissimilar from his first. Looking to draw down to his own bowls. They've got 2. Or 1 to measure at the very least. Looking to add another. Just got to skirt the black bowler Grants. He's not far away if he has. Yeah, so looks like the Morning Peninsula pair are looking to play up on Grant's backhand, which is on this side of the rink. He's got options through the hole to get the jack back, and he can make 2 or 3. And if he happens to be tight, he could probably get to the 2 shot bowls, or the 2 closest bowls of the Northern Gateway pair. Attacking shot. Let's see how he goes. Just a little wide. Cooper's going for a measure. It's actually 1 to the Mornington Peninsula pair, which no one thought they had at that stage. Scores 3-1 after 2 ends. Yeah, the old camera angle probably deceived us as well too, JR.
Yeah, going more off, Cooper was quite confident on the crossover that their bowl was in the count. However, not quite right. And a change of length from the Mornington Peninsula side.
Yeah, they've probably basically thrown back what they got thrown to them, and obviously they thought it worked for them, so they're going to go back at it. You've watched a lot of matches this week, JR. Is there any matches that stood out to you this week? Is that another question on the spot you weren't ready for?
Absolutely. No. Probably Ali when he played J. by Norris.
Ah, that singles match.
The singles in the
standout game for me, or
singles.
from a live streaming ones that I've done, the best one, well, just in terms of high quality, was yesterday's triples quarterfinal between the Chromies and Dean O'Neill. I thought it was a fantastic match.
Yeah, again, Tyson and Dean in particular, they're both part of a BA Pathways squad that I manage. So it was good to see those two lads in particular put on a bit of an exhibition, just showing everyone how talented some of the young guys are throughout the state.
Cooper started off with another cracking lead bowl there as the skippers are going down and play their first two. Our state championships in the pairs is 2 and walk for those watching at home. Lead plays 2, skipper comes down and play their 2, the lead goes and plays his last 2, and then the skippers come and play their last 2. It's probably our most traditional pairs format that we play.
And probably the favourite discipline of all for most bowlers, I'd believe. Oh, mighty effort. Second shot.
It's interesting, we talk about Grant, who come from New Zealand and still using a bit of a wide set. And as we've seen this week, Ali, who himself is from New Zealand, uses a wider set. It tends to be a bit of a common practice from New Zealand players, JR. I was once told it's because of the type of grass they play on over there. They get some really quick greens, but it's a different type of grass than what we have in Australia, and the wider turning bowls are better suited to go over the long stems of the grass. So I don't know whether you'd heard that before, but that's something I'd been told at the very least.
No, it makes sense though. If a coarse, weedy type surface, and you want your bowl turning across that rather than
along with it,
and finding little tricks in the green. On a great track here, Cooper. Oh, awesome shot.
He started well so far. And, on next door, Stevie Sullivan gets another single. Scores now 9-8. Bowl there by Jarryd.
Oh.
Great bowl by Gerald. He might be still down, but he's at least opened it up.
Sticking to the backhand. Just cut his grass a little there. Would have had good weight again.
For those who join us home, who actually asks a couple of questions around what the next match is, it actually is yet to be decided, JR, but I can assure everyone at home it's going to be a ladies match. But it may be a ladies pairs match, it could be a ladies triples match, but it will be definitely a ladies match, the next live stream match. Grant was asking to get up. Probably ultimately he actually wanted to slow down a little bit.
Just found that little port between the shot bowl and the jack.
Yep. Looking close to getting to this black bowl of Grant's.
It was just hold out. No,
Yeah, probably made two.
got down enough. Grant will be looking for something similar to his previous. A foot off.
And he sits the shot bowl of Cooper's. Yeah, I think we're going to see some weight here, JR.
Well, this will be the first time we see Jarryd on the attack.
A little awry, that one. And it's 1 to the Mornington Peninsula pair. Takes the score 3-2 after 3 ends.
Yeah, didn't seem to get that away too cleanly there, Jarryd. He'll be
Score
disappointed with
update
that.
in the ladies pairs semi-final is currently 19-9 after 15 ends in favour of the Ovens of Murray. So only 3 ends left and remaining in that match. Don't know about you, JR, but I reckon it dropped about 1 or 2 degrees the last 10 minutes, so I've opted for the beanie.
You've gone early. It's only 1:30.
Better to stay warm and comfortable.
Yeah, usually you've saved the beanie for the late afternoon
Yep.
evening game.
I'm getting soft in my old age.
Well, you're at least a day older than yesterday.
And the long ends are sort of throwing everyone out a little bit. You know, no one's really nailing it so far, particularly this way, JR.
Yeah, definitely in this direction. Cooper played a couple of great draw shots going back the other way.
Yes, yep. Barbara Young has asked who is winning the men's triples. We'll just wait till this end is not far from finishing next door. But at this stage, it's currently 9-8 in favour of Sampelt over Geelong. But it appears as though from this angle, well, it actually could be close for shot. So we'll wait and see. Still a bowl to remain this end.
Looks better weight this one here, Jarryd.
Yeah, much better bowl.
Up for shot. Looks better weight this one here, Jarryd.
Yeah, much better bowl. What do you think of Cooper's hairstyle, JR? The whole mullet.
Both lads are actually taking the mullet to a new level.
Seems to be the new theme. All the young fellas these days, it's like it's come back in again. I reckon I was accidentally sporting one 25, 30 years ago.
Well, there's no chance that I'd be sporting a mullet with the lack of hair that I'm currently promoting.
Gerald's not far away here, looking to get down to Jarryd's last bowl.
He's played it well.
Yeah, gets shot.
Promoting.
Gerald's not far away here, looking to get down to Jarryd's last bowl.
He's played it well.
And it is another single next door to the Geelong team, and the score is now 9-all after 10 ends. Game has closened right up, JR.
Pre-game, you would have expected it to be nip and tuck all the way. Both sides had been in good form through their semi-finals. Cooper looking just to be under this front bowl of Grant's to sit the shot bowl just a tad wide. Beautiful weight.
Another second. Which may make Jarryd go on the attack if Grant doesn't add another one here somewhere.
Nice little touch on the jack would be ideal for Grant, but just slips through the hole.
Yeah, speed was good. Is if he trails the jack with that speed too, JR, he'll make 3 or 4.
I think that was the shot to play.
And then take the shot away from Jarryd as well at the same time.
Exactly.
Well, in his line now. Is he going to hang long enough? A little fortunate there for the young fella.
Yeah,
probably,
he got lucky.
I mean, probably a little tight, but he's going to hang one of his own over a few times and got shot out of it. I don't think it changes Grant's shot too much from his last. If he's now landing the shot bowl with a similar weight, he's going to make potentially 2 or 3 here.
Absolutely.
Jeez, he wasn't far away.
A mighty effort.
Jarryd quick on the mat there. Jeez, he wasn't far away.
A mighty effort. I thought he was going to bowl it between Grant's legs at one stage.
Maybe a new nifty trick shot in the game of bowls. And it's 1 to the Northern Gateway pairing. Score is now 4-2 after 4 ends. I actually think this tighter side, JR, is where the jack is placed sometimes actually determines whether it does get a bit sticky or actually turns a bit more. And you may have heard that for those at home in commentary, you might have heard Jarryd say now it's turning. It's definitely no doubt at different parts of the rink, the hand will do marginally little different things.
Well, you'll tend to find that where the players are walking up and down just a foot or two off the centre line, generally gets a little quicker in those areas and turns a bit more. Whereas when it's a bit longer, the natural arc of the bowl will be out a bit wider and probably misses that foot traffic area.
Yep.
And then just tends to run a bit straighter.
And while we're talking about greens, we probably want to give Bendigo East greenkeeper Aaron Tompkins a bit of a shout out. The greens have been absolutely fantastic. This is day 8 of our championship week. And, we had a bit of inclement weather yesterday and on day 1, but these greens have been amazing all week.
Yeah, there's still hardly a blemish on this green, and with the traffic that it's had on it, with the weather that we've had, they've stood up magnificently. Well, next door, the run of winning ends from the Geelong rink of Steve Sullivan seems to have come to an abrupt halt there. Looked like they dropped a 3, I think.
There was only one.
Was only one.
That was a Queenscliff bowl, the Picasso coloured bowl.
Absolutely, that's quite right.
Over on the ladies pairs semi-final, where as we're coming to a close of that game, they've played 16 ends. Ovens and Murray is leading 20-9 over the Sandbelt pair. Unless the Sandbelt pair get, what do we say, a 4 here, 3 here, that game will be finishing very shortly. Grant played a very good weighted bowl. Just slid underneath the jack. Still roundabouts. Julie Jones, could someone? Yeah, look, Julie. We know the players are occasionally standing in front of the cameras. We have reminded them a couple of times. Probably for a couple of the guys, if not 3 of them, they probably never played in a live stream match before. So we are reminding them. So we are doing our best there to try and make it easy for those who are watching at home. Yeah, great bowl by Gerald. draws. Made 3 out of that little touch the jack too. Yeah, great bowl by Gerald.
Cooper on the attack.
Very close here. Great bowl.
He's made a major change to the head though.
Yeah, they were 3 down.
Cooper
They're probably
on
only
the
1 down
attack.
now. Very close here. Gerald will be looking to replicate his last. He just needs to get under that last bowl of Coops.
Unfortunate.
Bill and Lorna Armstrong. Yeah, I just gave the score to the pairs, but just to remind everyone at home, the Evans and Murray pair are currently leading 22-9 after 16 ends. So they've got one hand on that final spot at the moment. They just probably need to limit the damage the next end, and they should be fine.
Jarryd looking to cover and count, but he's pulled up a wee bit short. Good opportunity here for Grant. Here, Josh.
Yeah, if you can turn that jack around the corner, JR, you make 3 or 4, 5 even.
Well, that's another one in the mousetrap there.
And he does have one more. I call it the catching pen, JR. It's definitely some different sayings out there in the
Bit
bowls.
of a greyhound man, are you?
Yeah, my old man and Pop trained him for years, so yes.
Well, this is a critical moment of the match, early doors.
Yeah. Even if he sits the bowl, he might make 1 or 2. But if he gets the jack, I reckon 18 inches around the corner. Let's have a look. He's definitely tighter than his last. Oh, he got a little shimmy off that front one. Now they're going to go for the measure. It's definitely 1. 1 has been taken out for the Mornington Peninsula pair, and they're measuring for 2.
From the body language, they were both quite confident that they've got the second shot. Who's going to be right?
Alright, it's an umpire job, JR. Keep reminding yourself about the camera too. Both of yous, everybody, all 4 of yous. It's probably you. You're probably being the best. You don't have to. Don't have to react to everything I say. Just having a chat to young Jarryd there, trying to make sure he's remembering about the cameras. That's for everybody. As our resident ITO, Bobby Carlson, is going out to complete this measure.
Go on the calipers, so it must be not quite wide enough gap for the laser, or is Bobby...
I've seen him use the laser this week, JR. seen other people use the trammels and the calipers as well too, JR, and then other people elect for the box string tape too.
In the end, the method doesn't matter, mate. It's
as long as they get
just
the result.
The accuracy of the result.
Shout out to all our ITOs, our umpires, our markers who have been here for the last 8 days. Can't run an event of this calibre without having all them volunteer their time to come along. So we want to thank everyone who's been involved in that.
Nice close-up of Bobby at work.
That's only one to the Mornington Peninsula pair. Makes the score 4-3 after 5 ends.
So the young eyes of Cooper Wescombe were
spot on.
Spot on in that situation.
How are you judging shots, JR?
Depends if it's my bowl or someone else's, usually.
I think looking at it myself, I'm not the greatest. I tend to go to the finger trick. Even I don't have many of those, JR. It still seems to work reasonably well for me. Handy starter there from Gerald.
That's probably the best first bowl we've seen go down in that direction.
Yes. And they're sticking with the left of screen this way. Gerald's weight's pretty spot on this end.
Looks like Tony's on the march over.
I think he's going to come and give you a rest, JR.
That'd be nice. Let me go and attend to my throat.
Yeah, I might have sent an SOS out there when you were having a little moment, JR, so I thought, well, we better have someone to back up.
Looking over at the clubhouse there, Josh, I don't see Jimmy's head poking out anywhere.
No, I'm not sure where he is at the moment. Hope he's looking after himself. This could very well be over in the ladies' pairs semi-final, the last bowler match. As I said, the sandbelt pairing need probably 3 to actually force another end.
Probably looks like Claire Sanders is holding shot. Kelly on the drive. Misses.
There it is.
And shaking hands.
So Claire Sanders and Air Miles will progress to the ladies' final, and they will be playing Sam Robinson and Alison Hall in that final. Not going to be biased here at all, JR, but from a scheduling perspective, that's a good result for Bowls Victoria. And from a tipping perspective, it's a good result for me in our tipping competition.
So now we're going to spruiking rights already.
I think we had a little discussion before, and those listening, watching at home the BV staff had a bit of an office tipping competition this week. You know, you had to try and pick the winner of each event. And JR is currently leading. Good bowl there by Jarryd. Used the bowl of Gerald's to come in for shot. But if I can get 2 results go my way today, I might sneak the win.
Well, once I vacate the co-driver's position here, my bias will certainly be showing, I believe, because I need Jarryd and Cooper to win.
You do. Well,
to get a result.
We'll wait till the end of this end.
Yeah.
At the moment, the Northern Gateway boys are holding shot. Gerald's probably just a little wide. The speed's not bad for what he wants, because any contact on Jarryd's shot bowl is going to go to their bowls.
Well, it says the Gateway boys heading to the backhand now.
Yeah, I guess Cooper would be looking to try and pass the head, and if he happens to sit one of the bowls, he's got another one around about it anyway himself.
He's going to finish in a reasonable home.
Did you notice Gerald there prop as he's about to bowl and look at his watch? He might have one of those smart watches. And his phone could have been ringing through it.
Oh, don't let the ITOs know.
I just noticed he propped and looked at his watch. It's like, well, you're not going to be checking your time when you're about to deliver, are you? So
I don't see it. There's no shot clock.
No, not at all.
Cooper again on the backhand. Just trying to get down to that jack-eye bowl. Oh, he's turned it in right behind the jack. But
be interesting to know now what's going to happen if that contact is made
bowl.
on Jarrod's bowl, because obviously prior to that bowl coming across, it was definitely going backwards.
It in right behind the jack.
Now could squeeze sideways either the way, but
I don't think it's worse off for the Northern Gateway boys.
No. The score next door in the men's triples final, Geelong has hit the front for the first time in this match, JR.
12-10.
Yep. That's after 12 ends.
Just Jarryd, not so much distracted, but a bit of a gust of breeze, I think, there.
Yep.
Made him rethink his line.
Hey Sarah, yeah, look, we are going to be live streaming a ladies match after this one. It hasn't been decided which one. The powers of the be will probably be deciding that very shortly. We had the completion of the ladies pair semi-final. I think it won't be too long before I'll be able to announce which game's going to be streamed after this one. So stay tuned. There will be a ladies final replayed after this men's pairs final. Yeah, Grant's liking this one. He just needs a little bit of contact. He needs to get up.
Yeah, mighty effort. Jarryd coming down to the head to have a look at how that's changed his approach.
I guess the thing he's got to weigh up is whether if he actually makes any contact, he's going to go 1 down or 2 down potentially. If he's willing just to take the 1.
I'm pretty sure he'll still play it.
Well, we've seen by the first end, JR, when Cooper said don't play your last bowl, Jarryd seen that as a challenge and drew another shot anyway.
We'll see if he's up to the task this time.
I think he'd be stiff to actually give shot away playing back. Oh, actually he's playing weight.
Oh, he's going to try to drive both bowls out. Whoa.
Whoa.
Slip on the mat.
Resets. Just
Bowl wide.
As the Northern Gateway pairing take 1. Score is now 5-3 after 6, the third way through the match. Thank you, JR, for joining us.
Bid you farewell, my friend.
You will, JR, and I will be now joined by Bowls Victoria CEO, Tony Sherwell. Welcome, Tony.
Thanks, JT. Afternoon, everybody.
Before we start, I'm not sure what it is about my co-hosts at the moment, Tony. I don't know if it's me or the chair they're sitting in, but they're all dropping like flies at the moment. Jimmy can't get to the chair, and JR was nearly had a coughing attack there at one stage.
Yeah, I don't want to question how soft they are, but I will.
I've already thrown that one out there.
I'm sure you would have. No, big shoes to fill, stepping in after Victorian State coach Ian Ewing. Of course, very handy player as well.
How have you seen this match so far? I know you've been watching from afar, but I know you've been watching. What have you seen so far?
Watching from the safety of the clubhouse. Still a little bit cold here today. When the sun does go down, you certainly can feel that wind. But I think the scoreline's probably pretty reflective of where this one's at. Early days still.
Yeah, it's no one's absolutely nailed it yet. There's been some good bowls played by all. There may be just an opportunity around the corner for either side here to really put their stamp on the match.
Yeah, that's correct. I was listening with interest as I was coming over. I did hear you talking about which of the women's matches will be on next. I can confirm once the men's triples match, 1 rink over, finishes, we will have the women's pairs match on there.
Yes.
So that'll be the final, of course, between the ladies from Ovens and Murray, who've just had a great victory. Of course, Claire Sanders and Miles. And they'll come up against the pairing from Yarra, which is Samantha Robinson and Alison Hall.
Righto.
So that match will commence, as I said, after the men's triples as we watch the Jarryd Davies bowl come in on a lovely track here. Just a little touch on the jack. And we'll shift our cameras across to that match once this match here is finished.
There we go. That's the change of the plans of the day, Tone.
There is. Obviously, our viewers will know we have had some weather interruptions here, so the last thing we want to do is keep people around into the freezing cold evening that we're expecting. So we are going to start that match a little ahead of schedule. So we'll give some very good updates as we go, and then, as I say, we will switch cameras across 1 rink over and capture what will probably be about the last 2/3 of that match.
Good to see.
Shaping up to be a very good match too.
In that men's triples final that is currently being played, the game has really swung back the other way the last... probably since the stream has started, Tone. I think when we got on the...
It was 8-zip, I think, at one stage.
Something like that, yeah, 9-2, I reckon.
Yep.
And since then, Geelong is slowly, and then the last couple of ends got a couple bigger numbers. I think they've gone 3-2 the last 2 ends. They're currently leading 14-10 after 13 ends against the Sandbelt trio.
Some quality players out there. Of course, Stevie Sullivan's had a great state championships week. No slouch, of course, playing in excess of 300 games for Victoria. Now calling Queenscliff home.
I think he's called Queenscliff home for a while.
This is true. Nice part of the world.
It's not a bad bowl there by Cooper. Another one in the head. Still chances for the Mornington Peninsula pairing. If Gerald can get a little jack moving here, a foot to 18 inches, they've got 3 or 4 waiting behind the head.
A little bit tricky with this wind, JT. You might be able to hear in the effects mics there is a bit of movement in the marquee we have.
Yeah, I'm watching the pegs here in front of me holding the marquee down. I hope they don't move too much more.
Just got to get through one more afternoon and evening before our marquee blows away. So Cooper Wescombe representing Glenroy Bowling Club, Northern Gateway. Needs to turn now. Not a bad effort. Little low 5 from the boys, of course, very experienced playing together for such a young age, both these boys. Not a bad little home there too from Jerry.
Yeah. They've had opportunities in the Morning Peninsula pair, they just haven't capitalised yet. They've probably 3 or 4 ends have had bowls in a spot where they could make a number and they just haven't managed to do it yet. You don't want to let your chances go, but at the same time, if they're presenting chances, it might obviously mean as well at the same time they might get another chance to make a number at some stage.
It's what turns this into a good game and a good spectacle.
Jarryd's looking a little tight at this stage.
Doesn't want to hit up these front bowls.
Well,
Splits them, which wasn't a...
He got a split and a bit of a shimmy through, and I don't know if he counted or not, but it came out a lot better than what I think was going to happen.
Might have had his heart in his mouth just for a little bit there.
A bit of weight there by Grant. I don't think he's far away. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, he did that
Great
enough
result.
to make 2 shots.
Just jammed the jack into the bowl. Bowl clears out. Jack just trickles back. It's probably the best result he has.
If he gets it straighter, he probably pushes it all the way back. He did that by getting the little jam against the shot bowl. He's moved it the right amount of distance to make 2.
Of course, we can see the bowl of Cooper's and Jarryd's sitting back further. So, good result.
This chance is still for Jarryd. If he can get the jack around the corner, again, 1 foot, 8 inches, he might make 3 or 4. 3, I think, actually, now looking at that head. Just got to find that port as you're looking at the screen here between Cooper's maroon and white and the black bowl.
Needs to hold a little. Worst case
Cooper's
scenario, takes the bowl.
But he's got it.
He's got to jack clean.
What a bowl.
What a fantastic bowl from the young Victorian.
Between Cooper's maroon and white and the black bowl.
Needs to hold a little. Worst case
Cooper's
scenario, takes the bowl.
But he's got it.
He's got to jack
clean. What a bowl. The
clean.
enthusiasm of the boys getting behind it there. And Grant's got a very big bowl here because he's either going to decide whether he's going to go firm through the same hole but a lot firmer to try and go bare jack, or whether he's going to try and cut it down and draw around those 3 bowls on the run in underneath the black bowl and come in for shot 2nd or 3rd. Upton for the draw shot.
It's got to clear these front 3. I'm not sure it's going to. Collect it into the front. Hard to argue against that being 3.
We think it's 3. Jarryd.
Jarryd Davies just confirms that's 3. They will move on to a lead of 8-3. We played 7 ends in this final of the men's pairs.
And in the rink next door, the Geelong team, or the Queenscliff team, score another single and are now leading 15-10 after 14 ends against the Sandbelt trio.
When we look at their leads bowls, we can see why. Coop's just letting a little loose one go there. He won't be too pleased with that one. There's 3 bullets left. Those little gusts of wind, JT, must make it very difficult. How do you account for that as a player?
Well, I think you just, once you found your line and roll up, unless something drastically changes and stays the same way, you've got to back the line you found at the earlier of the day. And if you happen to be a bit unlucky when you get one of those gusts, so be it. Better off than trying to react to every bowl with the wind, you know. So you just got to say, in conditions like this, you're going to have an odd one every now and then. And just keep going with it if you think you've got the line otherwise.
Good advice there from Supercoach JT. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you go about winning a Commonwealth Games gold medal. Not a bad correction from both leads here.
Yeah, good bowl there by Gerald. Few of the spectators opting to try and search for what little sun we have at the moment, Tony. Shifting around.
A little bit of positioning of the crowd. Yeah. Don't blame them at all.
No. If we could get some direct sun on us, it wouldn't be too bad.
That'd be nice. A little bit of sun shining on Jarryd Davies with that one. Just a little quick, but not a bad home at all.
As you can notice, Tone, I opted for the beanie early because I felt like it dropped a degree or two. So
you're a little smarter than I. I've come with barely any hair left on my head.
Jarrod's tracking reasonably well here. He's just got to hang a little longer. Any bolt. Grant won't be happy with that one.
No, that'll be one he'd like to have back. JT, I mentioned the women's pairs final. We'll come onto the rink next door once this men's triples match finishes. Of course, there's a women's triples final, which will be a couple of rinks over on rink 9.
They'll be starting shortly, won't they?
Soon.
Yes.
So just giving a couple of the players a little break for lunch.
Before you jumped on, Tony, I said the scheduling gods have helped us out a little bit in terms of the fact that Anne Miles and Claire Sanders beat Kelly and Courtney there, and we're now able to guarantee getting all games completed today, which will suit not only the players, but everyone involved in the event, I reckon.
Yeah, it'll stop the players needing an extra night's accommodation and so on, which is always good for them.
Bowl here by Gerald. Just got to... Ooh.
Just needed the other edge. Hits it full. Not often you see a set of brown bowls and a set of black bowls. JT, I don't know whether these two are absolute layers or what. Daring to be different.
I did some homework. So the brown bowls are Conquest, so I think they're actually reasonably new still, but...
definitely a layer then.
The black bowls of Grant's are Dreamlines, which are about 25 years old, he said. He's just had them re-stamped a few times over the years to continue to use them.
I think one of my first sets was a set of Dreamlines in black. Nice little edge there, not a bad home.
I reckon Jarryd's going to be looking to just arrive. Tone, if you get through Cooper's bowl a couple of times, he can sit the shot bowl and happens to get a bit of jack too. There's definitely chances for him. The track on the screen doesn't look so bad. Looking to get down now. Coming now.
Just to turn hard now. Does exactly that.
Great bowl.
Wrestles shot back. Grant just confirming if he sits the bowl, does that make shot? Jerry agrees. Roll it out. Not quite the steam to get there. Still has one go at it though, as does Jarryd.
The wind is coming from the south, so which is the end they're playing into at the moment. So
Yep.
there's obviously a chance that bowl, he's probably just got a bit of a gust and...
What's Jarryd's shot here, JT? Is he
Oh,
trying to draw without moving it?
Same bowl. Asking it to hang a bit for him. He looks a bit pacier than his first.
Last one did turn quite a lot at the end, but I actually don't...
Yeah, not a bad home.
Yeah, don't mind that as a shot. If he was going to miss, missing there wasn't bad.
Grant will no doubt be a lot more positive this time around, I reckon. Nothing for short in this circumstance.
Just wiping some chalk off the bowl. Personally, I would have left it on there. The only chance I get to have chalk twice in a row.
You're not far away this track here, it's all on his speed.
Not a bad track. It's going to tip a bit early. Ooh.
Oh, he's a little unlucky there. I think he's made two. And two it is. Score is now 10-3 after 8 ends.
So that's first to double figures for the Glenroy boys, representing Northern Gateway. Of course, that's Cooper, Wescombe and Jarryd Davies. Matt now up about 2.5, 3 yards. Jack on the tee, just before. A handy starter. See what Jerry can do. Looks a little quick out of the hand. Maybe just a factor of what JT was talking about, going downwind now. We'll need to make a little adjustment before the next one. Coop's finding some pretty good weight, just needs to adjust his line slightly. Bit of speed from Jerry, but just cutting the head. Not far off Jack Eye though. As JT returns from signing a few autographs.
I wouldn't have thought so, Tone.
The adoring fans down there, JT. It's good to see you giving back to the bowls community. Jarryd Davies playing the opposite hand to what he saw his partner Cooper play. Not quite finding the line either, so. Well, they'll probably take the finishing position, but players just struggling to adjust back this way. Be some form of anti-gravity force around this jack, JT, though no player really being able to trouble it.
No, it does happen occasionally too. I mean, they've been playing a lot of this length, but with subtle little changes to it, so they're just around it at the moment without actually nailing it. First one to jump on here, maybe the ones who are capitalising take the end.
This is true. There's certainly a lot around it, but no one really on it yet. And the difficulty for Davies and Wescombe is they've got a couple in front of it.
Yeah, I still reckon Cooper's on his forehand. If he's just underneath his own or turning it over, he's going to go close to having a good solid shot there.
These turn hard now. They do swing a little bit late, and that'll be good enough for shot.
Good bowl.
What's Cooper using, JT? Do we have that info?
Yeah,
Aero Optimus.
Aero Optimus.
Aero Optimus. Nice bit of turn late on them, actually.
Yeah, again, the wider hand all week. It has been that side, and with these Optimus, it's he's getting some nice purchase down there, as one would say.
Jarryd Davies, of course, a Henselite man.
No.
Oh, my apologies.
He's also an aero stable guy.
There you go. Was a Henselite man, wasn't he?
I believe so. Sorry.
I must have missed that news flash.
Nah, he's come to the good side. Tone, if I don't show my bias there at all.
You just did. Of course, Taylor Bowles, very good supporters of Bowles Victoria.
Of course.
JT obviously being looked after nicely, as well he should be.
Scored next style in the men's triples final. Geelong is currently leading Sandbelt 15-11 after 15 ends.
Cooper's removed the sunnies as the sun ducks behind a cloud.
Played
Needs to
couple
get under
good
his
bowls
front
here,
bowl. Yep, little nudge off.
Little feather.
Good enough to rest in. As the sun
Ready
ducks
for
behind
replay?
the cloud. You can see this bowl tracking in. Needs
couple
to get
good
under
bowls
his front
here,
bowl.
Gerald.
A slight little feather. Yep, touch on the jack.
Little-
You built
nudge
nudge
off.
off.
Yeah, I reckon we see a bit of attacking here from Gerald. Oh, he doesn't like it out of the hand. Or he said,
Feeling that's
we're
gonna
going, oh, and then said, come on. So mixed emotions here already. And now he's actually nailed the jack.
Well, that had a little bit of everything. Jack goes into the pit.
Made 3 out of that nearly.
Still going to have plenty of room to draw.
Yes. And the other probably positive for the young pairing is that Cooper's bowl to the right of screen there is probably the one that if you happen to hit and turn over a couple of times, it might come in for shot.
Not a bad option. He did cite a bit of a groan as it came out of the hand. I thought
Yeah.
probably wasn't on target, but
All in Jarryd's speed now.
Hand,
if he passes Cooper's, he's going to be reasonably close.
Too bad at all.
And Grant from the Morning Peninsula side immediately singles there, one down. So great bowl there by Jarryd Davies.
Of course, the little white marker on the bank just signalling where the jack is. The red marker on the bank signalling where the bowl is. Always hard to gauge, JT, whether the bowl that's in the ditch is close or closer than the bowl on the surface.
Yeah, if it looks close when you're sort of standing over it, I would always back the bowl in the ditch.
In the ditch, yep.
Yeah, it tends to be that for the measure, if it happens to come that way, it goes over the edge of the ditch. Seems to just you lose a little bit there. So. Gerald's asking Grant's bowl to run a bit more.
Just running out of legs. Might fall just in behind what we suspect is the shot bowl.
Cooper's call then was if you're not shot, you're definitely second shot. So Jarryd's definitely eliminated some damage early. He could even have shot. He would probably just want to play similar bowl. He's probably got 3 feet to play with there from his last bowl to the edge of the ditch. So any improvement of up to 3 feet, and he's going to definitely have shot.
Without going more than 3 feet, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. Any more than 3 feet, he might be in a world of hurt.
No value in the drink. Well, Cooper shouts, "Great shot, pal." A large high five to go with. And if it wasn't shot before, it is now. Jerry just signalling roughly 2 feet. What can Grant do?
He was getting to the stage of the match where he needs to be able to get a shot back at some stage soon. He's asking for the bowl to run. He's got to clear.
Certainly got
to
the weight.
Hang on now.
Doesn't want too much.
Oh, yeah,
unfortunately, just lost.
So it's 1 for sure for the Northern Gateway pair, and they're going to measure for 2 here. And as they're doing this will be the halfway point of this match.
Does that mean we just double the scores and that's what happens in the end, JT? Or
not necessarily, Tony.
Well, we saw on the Rick next door, didn't we, with an 8-zip lead, a 9-2 lead.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly got swallowed up by the Geelong trio.
So it's only 1. Jarryd's last bowl was the one that got the shot. Score is 11-3 after 9 ends. Northern Gateway pairing scoring the last 4 ends in a row, which has probably set up this lead they got at the moment.
Yeah, nice little streak. So here's where you can pile the pressure on, JT. The leader putting one right on. Sails a little bit through, but still not a bad
Cooper's
spot.
probably been slightly more steadier than his opponent at this stage. His first couple ends were actually crackers, and then he's still been very steady since then as well.
We saw him in the match this morning. Led really well at the start of the match, then dropped off a little. Jarryd Davies was able to take up the slack. And of course, they both finished with a wet sail for a very comfortable win this morning.
Mm-hmm. Against the Strzelecki pairing of Mick Coram and his partner.
Yep, of course we saw Mick on our stream not long ago. Strzelecki and Regional Victoria getting good coverage.
They've had a pretty good series. They've figured prominently. They haven't been able to take home a victory this week from the top of my head, but they've
gone deep in quite a number of events. Yes, of course, the Strzelecki women always do very well. Jerry just asking for it to turn.
Good leading by Gerald.
Yep. Can't argue with that.
We are replaying the 16th end in the men's triples final next door. Ali Forsyth killed the 16th end.
As he does quite regularly. Of course, one of the better exponents of a weighted shot. At a range of speeds too, JT. He's not always full-blooded drive. He's quite often
he does change
half-pace,
yes.
three-quarter.
He's definitely one of the best exponents of a run shot, whether it's a
He
run or a
certainly
drive. He's coming up against probably one of the best draw bowlers for a long time in Victoria, and Stevie Sullivan.
Stevie Sullivan, of course. Jarryd Davies with a lovely opener. On this, our 10th end. 18 ends in all our pairs matches. Grant just dips under slightly and a touch short. 2 feet as signalled by Jerry.
Jarryd switches over to his forehand. He's played very good weight again.
Yep. A little bit of traffic at the front, had no choice but to switch over. Managed to do pretty well.
He's been very consistent this match so far. If he has missed, he's tended to correct it very well.
Came into this on a bit of a high after taking home the under-18 male bowler of the year on Thursday night, JT, at our awards night.
Yeah, I mentioned that he's reigning, obviously, Bowls Victoria under-18 male bowler of the year and Bowls Australia male bowler of the year. So, a great junior career. He's now turned 18, so he no longer can play in the juniors, but a member of the emerging squad of the Jackaroos as well. So he's definitely been earmarked for some high things in the sport.
There'd be many a junior quite happy to see the tail end of him and think, well, here's my opportunity now. Jarryd Davies has finally graduated. So he has done very well. Of course, an under-18 Australian Open title, a junior gold nugget title to his name, among a range of others. Cooper saying, let's play as a pair, and I'll just rest off your bowl. Jerry coming through with a little bit of purpose here, but just a little narrow.
Morning Peninsula pairing. They really need to make something happen soon, Tone.
They do. The boys from City of Frankston. 8-shot deficit at the moment, down at least 2 on the head. If I had one criticism of Jarryd Davies and Cooper Wescombe, they haven't quite learnt to signal to the commentators when they're holding 1, 2 or 3, just to give us a bit of a chop out. Tell you what, not a bad shot here though.
He's a little unlucky there, Gerald.
He is.
Gets a bit of jack,
all the right stuff.
Sticks, and one of the bowls from Northern goes with it, and they're probably holding 3 at the moment.
Well, as much as I just had a subtle, very facetious dig, both Jarryd and Cooper. Cooper just had 3 fingers in the air, so he learns quickly, Coops.
He's
That's why we love him.
Well, his ears are better than what we think.
Well, that could be true too. Maybe I'm talking a little loud. Better be careful about what I say.
You're hopeful.
Just getting a wry smile from Coops.
He loves standing in front of the camera every time a good bowl comes there too.
Yep. Well, it may not have been the design, but it is the result.
His old man's telling him behind the head.
Perfect.
That's why he's signalling to us now.
Just told me it's 4 now. They do learn fast.
Grant's attacking
That's why I love
here.
them.
He's got to hang up a little longer. Doesn't want any touch.
Got the jack
bowl.
clean for
Great
the kill.
bowl.
Great bowl. Well, they were in a world of hurt there, JT, so
yes.
That is a terrific result.
They
do learn fast.
We
look to the replay here, we see
he's got to hang up a
drive
little
thundering
longer. Doesn't want
down.
any touch.
Takes edge
Got
of
the
ball,
jack
clean for the kill. Straight out of bounds
Great.
on the left.
And the Northern Gateway boys, as they control the mat, elect to tend to send the bowls back. They had a good head, so that tends to be a tactic of a lot of players. If they've had a good end and the opposition kills it, they'll go and start again from the same end. Me personally, just lazy Tony and just
go wherever the most bowls are.
Pretty much. I don't overthink it.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you again, JT. It was a nice hit though by Grant. They were in a bit of trouble there and really had no choice but to move for the kill. Of course, we don't have any respots, no time limits in our state championships. This is about finding the best pairing. Not about trying to fit into schedules or TV time slots.
Just to interject for a second, Tone, there is a big bowl about to happen here, I feel. I feel like the Queenscliff guys next door are currently holding 3 shots. They're 4 up on the scoreboard, and this will be the 16th end. So, look, that's if my detection skills here are right in terms of who's holding what over there. But I really think Ali's 3 down here and needs to play a big bowl. So,
well, if anyone can do it, we've seen Ali Forsyth do it already this week. Ali looking to play with just a little bit of weight, nothing too strong for him. Takes out the front Picasso bowl, but I don't know whether that's helped him at all.
No, I think he's still 3 down.
We'll follow that one with interest. Of course, back here on the TV rink, Cooper Wescombe just puts one just in a nice tight little home just behind the jack. Stevie Sullivan with the chance to add one for the Geelong team in their triples final. Needs to stop there, probably not quite in the count, but very close. Jarryd Davies just very nicely pointing out, holding 2. Thank you very much, sir.
So far next door, 4 bowls have been taken out by the Geelong
so the
trio.
last one of Stevie certainly did count. So we're seeing 11-15, I'm saying 11-20 down in the head. So Ali does have a tendency to flick over the scoreboard early for what he thinks it is. So Ali's already called it as 4, 5.
As Jarryd comes down there. Handy bowl. It's 4. So the score is now 19-11 after 16 ends. 2 ends remain in that match, making it very challenging for the Sandbelt trio.
What a turnaround, JT, from 8-0 down to now 19-11.
Jarryd switches. The last bowler Grants is probably in his eye a little bit, so he's switching to the forehand. Tonya
Doyle pretty happy for the Geelong boys.
She was actually up here herself this week in the triples from memory, representing the Geelong region.
Lovely bowl there by Jarryd Davies. They do seem to be finding the better of it in this direction, that's for sure. We've seen Grant and Jerry being able to get out of trouble a couple of times.
Yes.
But the consistency of Davies and Wescombe is showing.
Good weight there by
Jarryd Davies just lets us know that cuts what they're holding back to 1. So thank you very much. He is fast turning into a star. That's signalling to the commentators.
It's great to see that the where Jarrod's standing at the moment, was standing with some of the Glenroy crew, and they're all watching our live stream and watching this match. You know, so
well, they get 2 things. They get the benefit of the replay, but unfortunately for them, they have to put up with your and my dribble, JT. So
I'd say your dribble and my expertise.
That could be it too. Jarryd just asking Cooper's bowl to hurry. It's going to be close. Shout a maybe.
Gerald's down here on his backhand. He just needs his pace to come off it.
It's not a bad home, but it's going to just skip through. There'll still be 1 on a measure. Does give them some options with still a few bowls to come.
Cooper's got chances. Turn his own over a couple of times. Happens a come around it, he's going to be roundabouts. Needs to work a little more.
Wind's still playing havoc with your paperwork, JT. You've done well to catch that every time.
Yeah, I need my notes.
Showing what a supreme athlete you are.
Gerald likes this.
No. Line is good. Weight just shy. So the situation on the rink next door is Clayton need to score this end. It's 19-11. They've played 16.
One of our triples players about to go out and play a final. Just giving everyone the score that happened in the last end as well too. Thank you, Andrea. About to start her triples final against Lisa Phillips, Kelly McKieran and Tara Ferrier.
It'll be a good match. Judah Nadella's been playing pretty well this week.
Exactly.
Of course, featured earlier in our mixed pairs final.
So I think Jarryd's going to be attacking, try and get to this wing black bowl on the left-hand side of the screen. If he can roll that a few times, he might make a very big number here.
See the hands go straight on the head as it just takes a little gust of wind. And couldn't quite stay up.
And Grant comes down here. He needs his bowl to stop.
It's going to be very similar to Jerry's bowl, I favour.
Just pass it. It's probably
not a bad spot.
It's probably going to cut a couple away and take less danger away if Jarryd happened to set that bowl. So.
So JT, is the shot here to sit off the black wing bowl or indeed promote either of Cooper's to?
Yeah, you play 2 feet away, 2 feet away, you turn one of those bowls in, just around it, you're going to nearly draw a shot still, and if you happen to be a bit wide again, you turn the black. I think there's multiple options there. He's asking it to get down.
Yeah, just hangs out there a little. No change. So if our signals were correct earlier, it's 1 and a measure. Of course, we'll see what Grant can do with his last. Stevie Sullivan has one right on the jack next door. Ali Forsyth asking his bowl to get down, which it doesn't quite do. I think Grant would rather have that one again.
Yes. While they're deliberating and finding out how many is, what I find fascinating on the triples rig next door is the 3 Queenscliff guys are all got short sleeves on. They must be used to this colder weather down there, Tane.
Yeah, quite a breeze down in Queenscliff. Right on the mouth of the bay. Port Phillip Bay, that is.
Big bowl here from Ali, because I think if he doesn't get the result he wants, it's shake hands time.
Correct. So measure going on our rig. Ali Forsyth not quite doing enough.
And that will be it.
We'll find all the boys starting to shake hands. So that'll be a victory, 20 shots to 11 to the Queenscliff trio.
Ray Butler,
representing the Geelong region.
Ben Russell, Steve Sullivan. As I said, Tony mentioned the score, and they defeated Ali Forsyth, David Ashby, and Dennis Throop in the final. And our score after 10 ends is 14-3 after 10 ends. Did I say that twice, didn't I? Yes, I did. John Bowles, yes. I personally do a bit of a player profile on all the players. I think it helps. I always go and grab what bowls they're using, what club they're from, get them to list their accomplishments, and which we always, at the start of the game, generally go over. It can come up at some stage during the match as well, but there's no doubt you have to do a little bit of homework in this role sometimes. And yeah, that's we definitely do it.
And John Bowles, clearly I don't do my homework given some of the gaffes I make, like Jarryd Davies and the incorrect sponsor. Nonetheless, that's why we're a good team. JT does all the work and I just take the credit. Speaking of taking credit, Keeper Wescombe should for that last bowl. And I put the pressure on the City of Frankston boys straight away. Not a bad little reply from Jerry. JT just very politely asking Grant to be aware of the camera. He has a wry giggle and says he's trying to hide his bowls.
Good sport, Grant is. Met him last week
much.
for the first time at regional sides, Tane, and playing for the Mornington Peninsula side, skipping one of their ranks.
Yeah, nice fella if you're in a good enough to be in a state pairs final and even finding yourself on the wrong end of the scoreboard but can still have a joke. To me, that puts you in good fella category pretty quickly.
I commented at the start of the live stream talking about Grant and Gerald. This is the first time Gerald's ever been to state championship week and to make a state final. I think it's fantastic, you know, so big shout out to them boys, particularly
Absolutely.
Gerald playing his first state final.
Sets the expectations for next year. Jarryd Davies just sails one through. So as we said earlier, we will have our women's pairs match. We'll come out onto the rink where Geelong have just won the men's triples. That, of course, will be the match between Samantha Robinson and Alison Hall, both from MCC Bowls Club, representing Yarra. And they'll be up against the wonderful and fabulous Claire Sanders and Anne Miles, representing Ovens and Murray, who've enjoyed so much success throughout their careers, but also in recent times.
Winner of the fours, alongside Lorraine Smith and Kylie Whitehead.
And winner of Champion of State Pennant, only a weekend ago.
No, region side championships.
That's exactly what I meant. Just checking if you were paying attention, JT.
Cooper, just probably a fraction quick there. Good line, in a good home. Won't go astray. Sarah, yes, they did. They did win Vic Open Ladies Pairs. It's probably the last time it was run as well, Claire and Anne. I think they are the defending Vic Open Pairs holders.
Correct, and Claire was also a finalist to Anne Draffin in the women's singles.
Yep.
So quite a good couple of years.
They play a lot together, play at the same club.
They do. Anne Miles representing Australia in the over 60s in a Trans-Tasman against New Zealand. So.
And Stevie Sullivan also did himself. So we've got some high calibre players been playing on these greens for the last 8 days.
Most talented bowlers in Australia, of course, reside in Victoria, and even some of the ones that we send up to other states just to bolster their stocks.
Good bowl here by Gerald. He just slides past the shot bowl of Cooper's.
can Jarryd Davies do? Tracking it down closely?
Well, I just think he needs to get another one in the head, ultimately. Look, it's very hard to get Cooper's bowl out. It appears to be locked in.
Of course, that is the shot bowl.
But
I don't mind coming this hand, actually, and trying to work off that left wing bowl. That one's just cutting the head, so won't be able to do it.
I reckon what they're working out is where Jarryd's last bowl finishes in the context of the head and what sort of shot he plays. If he happens to be third shot, I think there's every chance that Jarryd stays on the forehand and tries to turn that black bowl. But I actually think the Mornington Peninsula pairing have got 2 seconds, and I think he would just opt and try and draw another one in there.
Shows why I'm sitting here and Jarryd Davies is out there playing.
You might have missed the first end that they scored on, and Cooper told him not to play his last bowl. They had 2 good ones and there was danger, and Jarryd just looked at him and said, I think that's a challenge, and he came down and drew a third one.
Yeah, you've got to love the confidence of an 18-year-old man. And I might add the skills to back it up.
That too.
I do like the little stutter step that Grant gets going.
Yes, I have noticed that.
Just asking it to turn, not quite doing so on this occasion.
As they pull the measure out. It's interesting, I assumed that the maroon and white bowler Cooper's was already shot.
I think
but it's being measured for against the one on the wing there.
Makes me even more puzzled as to why they wouldn't go that way. Nonetheless, one it is.
15-3 after 11 ends.
So we see our women's triples finalists started to take the green and of course enjoy a 2-end roll-up. Work out what's what on rink 9. Just as they come out to start their roll-up.
Yes.
You may see in the background the women's pairs final, just preparing their equipment, ready to come out and start their match on the neighbouring rink, rink 11.
They're comparing bowls cloths. Alison and Claire both got a Richmond bowls cloth.
Ooh. Well, they might swap teams here. Be Alison and Claire onto Anne and Samantha. Cooper just asking skipper Jarryd, do I stay there or swap over? Jarryd's saying swaps the go.
He pointed well here, good change of hands.
Good question, good answer, good response, good result.
Yeah, Gerald's reply is not bad himself. Just passes the shot bowl Cooper. In a good home though, can set him up.
8 inches behind and still not quite shot. Shows you just how well Cooper is playing. See what Jarryd's been able to learn. Touch long, but handy.
And for those who have joined us a more recent time on the live stream, the greens will probably run around 14 seconds, Tone, I reckon. So greens have been in fantastic conditions. We had some inclement weather the last 24 hours, and they're still running quite well. Shout out to Tonks, resident greenkeeper here at Bendigo East. And shout out to all the volunteers from Bendigo East who have supported this event for the last week.
They have done an absolutely terrific job. We did get a bit of rain yesterday, not near as much as they're getting down in Sale, Bairnsdale area today.
Great bowl by Jarryd. I did hear they copped some.
Yeah, up to 45 mil down there today. So we hope everyone is okay.
Grant wanting it to get down.
A nice little bowl.
Oh.
Tell you what.
He's got options here.
Really has not missed by much. We'll see on the replay here, just comes through looking all the time like it's going to just little bowl. Nudge the Cooper Wescombe bowl. Tell you what, just a touch high. Still a great result. Very handy spot. Still 4 bowls to come for each pair. Who's your pick in the women's pairs match on the rink next door, JT?
So, I've got a bit of bias here, Tone, because of the tipping competition we're having.
Yes.
I'm hoping the Ovens and Murray pairing win. Only because of the tipping competition.
Of course. Well, I'm just hoping for a good game, which I'm sure it will be.
We will definitely wish for that.
4 very good players. Jarryd likes it to there. Wanted it to be wide. Wow.
Great, did not mess around with that
Jarryd
call.
Likes it to there, straight away. What a nice wide. What he's trying to avoid here is to fatten the target.
Yes.
He's actually done that. Oh, not quite fat enough though. As that one sails through. Jerry looks in disbelief. Not quite sure how that one missed.
He's looking at us and looking in disbelief.
Upturned hands.
We're not sure there's a gap there either, Jerry.
Game played in good spirits. Jerry having a bit of a giggle. So Jarryd Davies on the draw. Again, we'll be looking to stay wide.
Yeah, there's still, if the jack only moves 18 inches, Tone, there's still some danger there.
There is. There's a nice little cluster of 3 there.
I know Grant's probably going to opt for more weight here, but...
Doesn't like it.
No, and if anything, he's actually going to peel one of his catches there that he had.
If there was anything worse than hitting a gap, that was probably it.
I think now, I mean, they've still got the backers. We can't see that in our shot here, but they have the backers to the left-hand side of the screen. And you see what Cooper's asking Jody. Jody, I don't know where I got that one from. Jeez, it's been slip of the tongue week for Josh. I know that. Jarryd.
Kangaroos and magpies often confused.
To try and land, when we show the head again shortly, on the right hand of the screen, just off to the right, back a bit. Cover.
Coop says yes, fair shot, that's all right. Does give them that little bit of cover at the back. Grant now just verbalising how difficult this shot's now become. A 1 bowl target. A little bit of weight. Going to come back a little.
He's
It's
not
going to
far
have
away.
contact. What will happen? Jack spits out
Our third dead end of the
OOB.
match. Third dead
A
end.
one bowl target. A little bit of weight. Well, that's a great hit by Grant. He had one sider at it. Back a little.
He's
It's
not
going to
far
have
away.
contact. Just to take out what will happen. The bowls. Jack
and of course
spits
Jack
out of bounds. Means we're replaying the end. Jarryd Davies just showing you he's not as lazy as JT. Prepared to kick all the bowls back and start from the same end.
He'll get older someday and he'll realise what sort of trick that is.
He looks over and gives us a wry smile. It's been a bit of a pattern since I've been sitting here, JT. The Wescombe Davies combination have been able to get bowls around the head, and it's taken some very good drives or weighted shots.
Well, in that time they've won 6 in a row, Tone, and they've actually had 2 dead ends caused by Grant, you know, so it just shows you how a little bit more consistent they are at the moment. Both the ladies pairs and triples finals have started their roll-ups. They're both 18 ends. As Tony mentioned before, we are going to, as soon as this match finishes, shift the cameras over and shift them behind the rink next door, and we're going to get the end of the ladies pairs final between Samantha Robinson and Alison Hall from Yarra, or MCC, their club, against Claire Sanders and Anne Miles from YMGCR/Ovens and Murray Bowls region.
Well said, YMGCR. Do you know what YMGCR stands for, JT?
Yarrawonga Mulwala Golf Club Resort.
Of course, you would know what that is.
Yeah.
Familiar territory to you as a regional bowls manager some years ago.
Well, born and bred in Waggunya, only a half an hour away. They used to be called Border Golf. It was a lot less of a mouthful back in the days when we only called them Border Golf instead of YMGCR.
Too many letters for mine.
I think people called them the Village People early days.
Is that correct?
Yeah, because the old YM and then,
yes, of course. Yeah, well played. Well played, everyone.
Great lead there by
Speaking
Cooper.
of well played by Coops. And not a bad response at all. Jerry just finding it with his brown conquests, Drake's Pride conquests. And not a bad response at all. Jarryd Davies just a little hot. Always better to be through than short. Jarryd Davies just looking to sit the bowl.
Wasn't far away.
Just needed a touch more steam. No change though, still holding one. Grant just asking his partner Jerry, can you get through the port at the front? Answer was yes.
Still love the positivity.
Wants contact on the Wescombe bowl. Oh. They got through the port all right.
He just
Unfortunately,
didn't get the
really
result
change
the way
it other
he
than the
wanted.
jack.
Yeah, and still love the positivity.
As he walks past and says
I
contact
just
on the
wanted the
Wescombe bowl. Oh, a bit far off, I've got to say. Looks a little high, not sure that'll come back from there, and maybe one he'd prefer to have again. Grant just telling Jerry to come under that last bowl.
It's tracking all right, this one. Yeah, it's probably going to slow down in for shot.
Well, that's 2 good bowls by Jerry this end. Had to come under the Cooper Wescombe bowl. Does that
it's tracking all
comfortably.
right, this one. Yeah, it's probably going to slow
Sits
down in for
just
shot.
behind the jack. Well, that's 2 good bowls.
Cooper's corrected well on match, so let's see what happens here. He's actually lines all right. I think he's just marginally quick. Situation of the match is that they can afford to lose probably one at this stage.
I think since I've been sitting here, JT, it's probably the first time that they will have crossed holding shot.
Jerry and Grant.
Jerry and Grant,
Yeah.
of course. If you can just get this one to pull up, it could be 2, but maybe not quite. It'll be close.
I think you might be right, Tone, and so they'd love to hang on to this shot, and if not, build on one and get a couple more as well on top of it.
Not a great deal going on the forehand, so
Look, I think Jarryd will be looking just to play that positive draw shot, just try and get to the shot bowl. If he happens to move the jack a little bit, he's got a chance just behind the head, but it's more or less a draw shot, I feel.
Yep.
He's liking it. It's coming now.
Needs legs. That's a good effort. Good effort.
Probably the second shot for sure.
Don't mind this track too.
It's just got to run a bit more. Run past Jarryd's last bowl, and that's
done
2.
so. Here we go. So holding a couple. Still with both skippers, 1 bowl to come.
Jarryd will be just looking for about an 18-inch improvement on his last, and then should be getting awfully close to getting shot.
Craig Rippon just saying well done to the Geelong boys. They'll be able to celebrate together.
State Falls champion he is.
Played an absolutely beautiful match in the final.
Jarryd is awfully close here.
Davies
He's got to clear
watching
the
this
last.
closely. Oh, just split the wrong side of the bowl. We heard Jerry say we've got a couple.
Grant said it's a same
I'm not
line
gonna be
as
sure.
before, so it means if his speed's good, he's going to count. Ooh.
It is 3.
3 to the Morning Peninsula side as Jerry ironically says, oh, we've doubled our score. The score is now 15-6 after 12, 2/3 of the way of the match, and that breaks a run of 7-6. 6 ends they had scored, the Northern Gateway boys.
Just asking Jerry to bring the mat right up. So time to change something, do something a bit different.
Absolutely.
Jarryd Davies just sneaks off into the greenkeeper's shed. As the sun comes out again, JT.
Yes, we need that.
Does not want to swallow this jack.
No, he's rolled it well.
Well done.
The art of a good leader is to be able to roll the jack where the skipper wants it.
100%. course, once the jack's in place, the art is to put one right on top of it.
The worst bowl by Koopy's a little long. He just featured out of the shot of the head there for a second, but it's you just never know in this game when the bowls can come in handy.
Oh, JT's just dropped his book. Starting to fumble a bit now, JT. He's been pretty good at catching that book most of the game.
Yes.
Win takes it. Not quick enough to react. Tell you who is though, Jerry is. Oh, the little back hopper. Fumble a bit now, JT. He's been pretty good at catching that book most of the game.
Mics or our sound
Win
mics.
takes it. Not quick enough to react.
Ironic.
Tell you who is though, Jerry is. Oh, well, he actually had a couple good ones last end too. So tide is turning for the Mornington Peninsula boys.
They're still having a smile tone despite the fact they're a little bit behind at the moment. So it's good to see they're playing the game in good spirits.
And Matt is right up next to us, so we are going to be a little quiet in this end. Nice ball by Grant.
Jarryd's reasonably close here in this line. Just got to get down. Another one in a good area for the Mornington Peninsula boys. Any jack movement 2 foot past the head is going to be alright for them at this stage. I think we might see some weight here.
Big weight, Jarryd Davies. And that's why he
jack
went into the greenkeeper's shed earlier.
Into the greenkeeper's shed.
Went in there and thought, where can I hide this jack?
I think Brad, our technician, was a bit worried about the camera then.
Just a little bit. Quite, Jarryd Davies.
Nice.
You are safe, Brad, but Tonks, we apologise, mate. Your nice Scotty Bonner mower has just got a dent in the front of it as that jack goes flying through into the greenkeeper's shed.
It's lost
and
ball.
It is lost.
Using golf terminology, they can't find it at the moment.
2-shot penalty then.
Yeah, well, might help the Mornington Peninsula boys. They're opting for another one. So, Tonks, if you're listening.
Gone. Lost jack. Just trying to signal to somebody in the clubhouse that we need another jack.
Jarryd, they're around there. Mel's going, don't worry.
There's one on rink 7 if you want it. We just said to the greenkeeper on the stream that the Scotty Bonamoa might have a little dent in the front. So
yeah, Tonks, if you're listening, go searching for a jack tomorrow morning or this afternoon when you come back.
I've got a replacement jack.
I'd love to see the replay at how close the jack actually went to the camera. Not sure we can do that right now, but if you go back on the live stream later on, we might check that out.
It was close. Of course,
No.
full pelt drive from Jarryd Davies. Got the jack airborne. Just missed the camera and into the greenkeeper's shed. And another very good jack roll.
So we will give you some score updates on the ladies triples final, which is currently underway, and the ladies pairs until we turn the stream over to there after this completion of this men's pairs match. The ladies triples have had one end, and it's 2 2-0 in favour of Sandbelt after one end.
Well, a lovely opening bowl from both leads here.
It's not a bad call there by Dave Stockham. Dave Stockham's joined the stream and he said, we better close the door.
It's probably not a bad idea.
And probably the only reason the door's open is we know... Oh, no, I was going to say we need to put Brad's technician gear back in there tonight, but as we're finishing up today, probably doesn't have to put it all back in there.
This is true.
Still might have some bags or boxes in there still. He might have to put some of the gear in.
Yeah, we're just trying to stop that loud bang into the tin shed. So we left the door open, Stocky. It was all good preparation, as I'm sure you'd be aware. Well, Stocky, Australian selector, and a very, very good bowler. No slouch when it comes to mowing as well. He'll know what a Scotty Bonner is, that's for sure.
I've never heard of it before. I'll give you the tip.
Well, Joshua Aloysius Thornton, you should wash your mouth out and go and cut and roll some greens every now and again.
You know, people at home are going to think that's my middle name now.
Maybe it is. So close for shot here. Who do you favour, JT?
I'm favouring Cooper's bowl.
Yep.
It's nearly dead jack high, so I'd back hits a shot at this stage. Cooper's obviously already forgotten the fact that he's meant to signal to us and let us know.
Yeah, it didn't last too long for the boys, did it? They did learn very quickly, but they also forgot very quickly.
Caught up in the moment of the big drive.
I think so, understandably so. They are playing a state pairs final, so as much as they'd love to have a bit of fun. And again, we do have the mat quite close to us, so we are being a little careful.
Jarryd, what a bowl.
Well, if they didn't have shot before, they do now. They'd love to have a bit of fun.
Gerald's
again, we do have the mat quite close to us, so we are being a little careful.
3 backers bowls, getting jack movement back will suit them.
I don't mind that too, JT. I've probably noticed in the last few ends there seems to be a few short ones creeping in from Davies and Wescombe.
Gillian Baxter, my apologies if I didn't get that right, but the ladies' pairs have started the game, but they haven't actually finished the first end, so hence why I haven't given any scores for them yet. They're still playing the first end. They're about to measure. Oh, Jerry taps the jack to the side. That was the 4th dead end too we've had in this match. We could be a lot further along in this match if there was none of them.
Probably no surprise with Jarryd Davies. His drive, quite the weapon. Of course, Grant Catterick's spoiled a couple too.
I think that, I was going to say it was going to hide it more, but it's actually opened up a hole, I reckon. And Jerry's on the attack here, trying to find that port. And he's actually done exactly what he kind of wanted to do. Got the
smoke and mirror says Jerry, but I tell you what, that one is
that port.
What he wanted, maybe not the way he wanted it. Regardless, when you're playing with purpose, he's giving it a chance. A little bit of pandemonium, but Jack goes back to hole 2.
Just trying to think, I reckon there's a chance Cooper might play a bit of weight himself here. No, just opted for a nice positive draw shot.
Obviously looking for the split here.
He's not far away, Tane. He's not far away at all.
Oh. Centimetre off, just collected the bowl in front. Was looking to split the two and take the jack through. Even recognising that there are still two of the Catterick bowls behind as well. So there's danger everywhere.
And also danger in Jarryd's drive potentially upcoming as well too.
I think we can see if we can bury a second jack in the greenkeeper shed in a second.
Actually, I can see what Grant's trying to do. He's trying to get through the gap and try and turn their own bowl through the jack and make this number. Oh.
Not sure that really helps.
No, if anything, it probably gives Jarryd chances there on his backhand now.
Getting looked after very well here at the East Bendigo Bowls Club. Been hosting this event, JT, for 9 years.
Yes, 9. I knew it's been a while.
Some of the best greens in the area. Of course, Bendigo, known for having good greens all round. If they could turn the fans off, it'd be even better.
Yeah, we do see weight.
Watch out for that camera, Brad. Okay, opens it up. No danger to the camera, no lost jack.
Yeah, we do see weight.
See Jarryd Davies with a big wind up.
I reckon one of their bowls has got to the back of the head now.
Actually missed by a little ways, that one. So Jarryd won't be too pleased with that. But it has, we can see. It's just snuck in behind that collection of 3.
If you're looking at this head at the moment, if Grant can get the jack sort of 2 feet straight down the line from where the bowls are currently sitting, he could bring these 2 back bowls to the right ear into the play, and he could make 4 or 5, 6 if he can come through. So,
yep.
I think at the time with the situation of the match, I think he needs to play it to try and make this number and see what happens.
If he can somehow remove the Jarryd Davies bowl, JT, does he get himself to 4 or 5 anyway?
It's resting against the second shot bowl. Does that, it may not get the same result.
Yep.
Or may not go out clean. So, by playing this shot too, it takes Jarryd's shot away from him that he's currently playing and give him a different look at something else.
Grant asking it to hold. Well,
he might have made one more, yes. As we have a chat to Grant as he walks past us. Jarryd's got one to come. Now, I can see these 2 boys looking at his head.
You can tell what the 18-year-old male, 19-year-old male are thinking, can't you,
well,
JT?
So naturally I'd go, well, that's probably going to try and draw a shot, cut him back. I can see him looking at those 3 bowls lining up all one
thinking
after the other.
Cannon.
You see, you just get all 3 of them out.
All right, we'll try and stay a little quiet through this one.
We'll probably play the same shot.
Percentage plays the draw. Gutsy plays the drive. Gutsy it is. Collects the front bowl. So that'll be
3.
Successive 3s to the Mornington Peninsula pair. Gutsy plays the drive.
15-9.
Gutsy it is.
13 ends.
What do you think, JT? Easy in hindsight, but is the percentage play for the draw there?
Well, there was probably enough room to cut it back, Even if he didn't get shot, you might have had a chance of getting back the second shot, or third shot, and eliminated the numbers. And the lead they had, going on down, is not the worst in that situation. But, saying that, he obviously backed himself to make the hit. I said they're confident in what they do, and they've been leading by being attacking. So it's not surprising. It's all good. They've still got a little lead. 6 shots up with 5 to play. The last thing he wants to do is drop another 3 here, or something along those lines, at least anyway.
Mornington Peninsula looking to continue with the shorter end. So Matt, right up to the 21 metre mark, and then back about 1.5 yards. See how good the jack roll is going this way. Coop's got it on an absolute string.
He's definitely doing that part of his job right.
Certainly is. Now, can he put some pressure on with this first bowl?
Good lead ball there by Cooper.
Just trying to find Jerry's bowl end shot. It's probably 1.5 foot off the ditch. See Cooper's bowl end shot. One's good enough for shot.
Yeah, great lead bowls there by Coop.
Speaking of good enough for shot, certainly good enough for one at least.
The score in the ladies triples final is now 4-3 in favour of Sandbelt over Metro West after 3 ends. The ladies pairs final, which we will transition the cameras to once this game finishes, is currently 1-0 in favour of the Yarra after 1 end.
As Grant Catterick just picked up the wrong bowl, realised with moments to spare. Interesting choice to run at that. Seeing some aggression from both teams.
Yeah, and Cooper has a toucher too. So if Grant got the jack through, Cooper's bowl through the jack, they might have limited their chance of getting shot this end too.
Yep.
Fortune favours the brave, Tony.
This is true.
Had a crack. And Jarryd will be looking to change his head, make it look
a little
different.
Nudge on that. That'll be 2.
Oh, it's still a fattish head. I wouldn't be surprised if Grant plays.
Had enough weight to change it, but unfortunately not the line. Coop's just giving some instructions to Jarryd Davies.
Definitely want to try and change the shape of the head as it's standing. Turn one of the bowls like he's trying to do here. That's a good bowl. Changes the head. Definitely want to try and change the shape of the head as it's standing. The Morning Peninsula play now. Turn one of the bowls like he's trying to do here. That's a good bowl. Change.
I don't know whether it's still 2 or 3, JT.
It's
2 and a look. Big end for Davies and Wescombe, having dropped successive 3s.
Shorter one bounce back.
Grant just saying that's exactly where I wanted you.
Gives him something to work through. I reckon Cooper's looking to try and get something behind the head here too. If you got Jerry's bowl, he's not going to be far away from being in a good spot. Hear the call from Jarryd. He's wanting Cooper to correct and probably another foot to 2 foot. Even if he leans the brown bowl, he's going to be in a really good position. That's a great spot there by Cooper Wescombe. Bit of protection at the back. That's where the danger is for the Northern Gateway team. They're currently holding 2 or 3, I reckon, at this stage. Two for sure. Looking at the head there. Be a measure out of the shorter Jerry's bowls and the maroon and white of Cooper's. Grant's attacking. He's not far away. Grant's attacking. See the replay. He's not far away. Comes through, gets the jack himself. Jack rebounds off a bowl. His bowl goes into the pitch.
Caught it as a toucher as soon as it hit. Let's see jack and bowl.
And the thing that Jarryd's probably weighing up is he's got a close third shot. There's room to draw a shot. Yeah, he wouldn't. I was thinking about maybe he might run his toucher in, but he can draw this himself where it's sitting.
Question is they 1 down or 2 down, JT?
I'd say 2.
That'll be a little heavy. One more go at it. So Grant Catterick putting the pressure on now.
They've won the last 2 ends, 2 threes in a row. Ladies pairs final is currently 2-0 after 2 ends in favour of the Yarra team. That's Sam Robinson and Alison Hall. It's over Claire Sanders and Air Miles.
Needs us to slow down, asking it to slow down. Unfortunately, bowl not listening.
There's definitely enough room to draw a shot.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of turn back on that hand. They do have to negotiate Cooper's bowl that's a yard or so out.
See how well he's corrected here.
Some massive gusts of winds just after he let that go.
He doesn't look far away here. He doesn't look far away here.
Oh, Cooper maybe gave it one too many hurries. It's a great effort, but just in the ditch. It's 2 to the boys from Mornington Peninsula. Is the signal from Grant Catterick. And he has a little purpose about him now, jogging back to grab the mat.
Little pep in the step.
There it is. 2 threes and a 2. This has gone from 15-3. If the eyes of Grant Catterick are correct, this will be 15-11.
2 it is. We've played 14, we have 4 ends to go, and there's only 4 the difference. Well, I'm sure they'll opt to the same tactic. It's worked for them for 3 ends in a row, or 2 ends since they won that 3.
If I were Jarryd, Davies and Cooper Wescombe, I'd be going to find that other jack. Retrieve it from the greenkeeper's shed.
Oh, Jerry's good run of Jack rolling is he's not happy with himself.
Well, we know what's going to happen here. After a couple of short ends that just haven't gone the way of the Davies Wescombe combination, this one is not going to be short. The only thing short about it was the roll back of the Jack.
The score of the ladies triples final. The Sandbelt team of Tara Ferrier, Kelly McKeer and Lisa Phillips are 5, and they're playing the Metro West team of Christine Valla, Andrea Tudorovic. Hope I got that right. I feel like I did. Tudorovic and Judy Nardella are 3 after 4 ends. I actually announced this week that I have a good, feel like I have a hidden skill or hidden talent in being able to announce surnames and foreign cities and towns.
Would you mind if I test you on a couple?
How are you going to do that?
Well, I can Google some and ask you to read it out.
You'll find some Welsh name that I probably won't be able to have any chance.
It's a fair chance.
I've seen a couple of Finnish ones too that are...
Yes, can be quite the tongue twisters. I'd give you some local Victorian ones if you like.
Here we go.
Probably shouldn't pick ones that are in your neck of the woods, but I will. Try and make it a little easy for you.
We are commentating a game of lawn bowls. We're not doing a quiz show, Tony.
Got to have a little bit of fun every now and then, JT.
Handy started there by Cooper. Cooper coming down here. He's going to drop in for a shot. Oh, I think it's got a little colder tone.
It has, JT. Smart move for you with the beanie.
For the Mornington Peninsula pair to win this game from the situation it is, they've got 4 ends to play. They've probably nearly got to win 3 out of the 4, I feel. If they split the ends, unless it's really big ends, I think you'll find that Northern Gateway pairing will hang on.
I understand what you're saying, JT, but they have put 8 shots on in 3 ends. So.
Correct.
There we go, JT. What's that town there in the centre of screen? Don't overthink it.
Hang on, let me just look at it for a bit longer.
Jarryd Davies just finding a good home behind.
Boomanu Mana.
Didn't sound very silky to me. A little bit of work required for you. Grant Catterick on the run. He really is up and about. There. Coop says we've still got 1, maybe 2. Thank you, Cooper.
Oh, and in the next door rink in that ladies' pairs final, Anne Miles has played a great bowl with the last. She tried the jack for 2, and she was probably already 2 down herself then, so great bowl. Couple of loosies there by Jarryd. I'm sure he'll be ruining those 2, but he'll look to mend with his next. The long end has caught him out a little bit here, Tane.
It has. Got so up and about with their short ends. Shows the importance of rolling the jack. Grant just saying, I hope you've got the weight because you've got the line. The weight looks pretty good to me. So the play for Coops is quite simple. Right-handed forehand, looking to trail the jack back. Has a couple of catches there. Might be a touch high. Still could nestle in for shot. Needs to run a little hard, not quite. Good second.
Wind's picked up the last 30 seconds or so. Jerry's actually propped himself. Probably a good move. Resetting. Just a little under the head.
JT just doing some running repairs on our marquee. Might end up 2 suburbs away otherwise.
We could be knocked out in the process. Schryver was just looking to get to his own, then if he happened to turn he would have definitely made shot. He's still not a bad bowl. If it flops in it could be shot. Jarryd claps it.
Can't help but think Jarryd Davies is going to have a go at the shot bowl if they've got multiple seconds. Just depends on the one on the line whether or not that's in the count. To get the right side of this Cooper Wescombe bowl, which does a little do-si-do.
There you go. So Grant thought they were already down anyway. It's definitely made sure of it. And I can see a shot here that Jarryd's going to attempt to play. He can move the jack 2 foot down the line. It's all them. And he's got options of his own Cooper's bowls there as well.
Silky smooth out of the hand.
First part doesn't look so bad. It's got to hang a little longer.
Ooh.
There's always been the wider hand or match that one.
So what's the shot here, JT? Does he try and promote one that he has on the backhand or sit on the ones on the forehand side?
I still think there's danger behind, so maybe trying to play that bowl where you might get another one in the head and covering in the same time is options, or he just might opt to get behind the head, anticipating Jarryd's next shot. See at the screen, if the jack happens to come to the tee and the bowl doesn't come with it, they're going to be 3 or 4 down.
Needs to really turn, was the call from Catterick.
He's not far away.
Not far away from doing so. Unfortunately, Coop's just got in the way. But it is 2.
Still chances. I think if there's any movement through the last one of Grant's and the one before that, the shot bowl, a few yards away, there's chances that Jack can go back. I think all you got to do is fix up his line from his last one. He'll be roundabouts. He's opting for the backhand change.
Just not coming in.
He's probably got a bit of a wind gust here. If you look at the flag to the, or we look into the flag to the east of us, it's coming across the green now. It's another 2. The game has really closened up here. They've scored 10 shots in the last 4 ends. It is now 15-13 in favour of the Northern Gateway pairing after 15 ends. 3 ends ago.
So interestingly enough, they're not taking the jack up this time, the mat up this time, I should say. Quite some success with some shorter ends. Electing to leave it.
Give you some score updates across the green here in this ladies pairs and triples finals. And the triples final, Sandgate, I did it, Shane, I did it.
You did it, JT.
7 are playing Metro West 3 after 5 ends. And Yarra 2 are playing Ovens and Murray 2 after 3 ends. They're not showing that on the scoreboard as yet, but we know that is the case.
JT just recalling some of his days in Queensland, terrorising the suburbs. I actually called it Sandown earlier, JT,
yeah,
so not on stream, but I did call it Sandown. Keep following this one down intently.
Just needs to hang a little longer, but he looks reasonably close here.
Track. It's in for shot. See Judy Nadella on a couple of rinks over. Russell in with her last bowl. Looks to have taken shot by the clap from her teammates. Jarryd Davies with a great track, just needs a bit more steam. Good enough for second shot. Certainly plenty of steam here, JT.
Quick. What's that, sorry, Tony?
Certainly plenty of steam here, JT.
Yeah, thought it was a little bit quick.
2 back bowls, though.
Jarryd will be looking to add a yard on his last. Looking better.
Yeah, looks a little smooth. No real target to hit either, important at this stage.
There's still plenty of holes for them if you're looking at it that way.
I remember a great conversation many years ago on a forum where Lee Schryver said sometimes you're actually better off not being closer to the jack, and had a number of people arguing with him. Of course, this is the situation Leroy was talking about.
Yeah.
One of the sharper minds going around.
Any success would say he's possibly right.
Yes,
Jerry's played a really good bowl there.
Secured his 7th Champion of Champions victory only nights ago.
There's the method to the madness there, because at times, depending on the situation of the green, you know, if you're sitting right next to the jack, the target looks bigger, people tend to attack. But if you're sitting off it, say a foot as an example, and you're not drawing as well, those holes become more apparent. So, you know, depending on the situation, I don't disagree. I also don't mind a front knocker or a back knocker too, Tone. They're pretty handy as well.
This is true. Not that I'd know JT, never had one.
Ever?
I hear they're quite handy.
Yeah, it's a good bowl there by Coop.
Yep.
Gives them chances to attack potentially for that bowl. Something behind there. It's probably also a second if they are one down. So. Interesting to see what Jerry's trying to do. He's looking to be cutting ahead at the moment. He needs to clear his own. Just crushes.
Gives it a little help. Of course, our pleasure to be bringing this game to you today from the lovely East Bendigo Bowls Club. With thanks to the City of Greater Bendigo, great supporters of ours, wherever you are around Victoria. Watching in from Swan Hill or Lakes Entrance, Peninsula, or indeed northern suburbs of Melbourne.
Cooper's liking this.
Not a bad
said
track
it's got to
here,
be
trying
closer.
to rest the shot bowl.
Good bowl.
Shouts of no jack. Wanted to take the bowl out without moving the jack. A slight nudge on the jack.
It's still good. I think
Good enough to wrestle at least a couple.
puts them in a better position. They're probably holding one,
Was it
looking
one
at
and
the
a half?
screen, 1.5. Chances to maybe still move the bowl. Grant's going to have to play. Nice bowl here. Or even Hastings, as Adrian Johnson pointed out.
Or Hastings, absolutely. Nice part of the world down there.
It's looking wide for the line, for the pace.
Yep, couldn't have both of them. Could have that line without the pace or have the pace without the line. Either was good, but not both. So we see the Jarryd Davies bowl just fall out. It's the 16th end, 18 end match.
Yeah, Jarryd would be looking just to try and turn his own over, draw underneath. I think he'd like to draw one and hide the jack. So sort of just dropping under the head a little bit and turning in front of the forehand side there. think he's narrow.
People tuning in from Tuncurry, JT, a nice part of the world on the New South Wales coast.
Wallen,
also a nice part of the world. Just to the north of Melbourne, between Melbourne and Kilmore. Almost part of metropolitan Melbourne now, JT.
are they?
Well, such as the growth out that way.
Yeah, oh, well, sorry, yeah.
Geographical wise.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely. It's in the growth corridor. There's a couple of growth corridors coming out of the north of Melbourne.
Absolutely.
Sunbury, Gisborne and sort of Woodend Way is also growing very
Good
big.
to see there's finally a good-looking Thornton that's watching. Or commentating.
She ain't commentating, I'll give you the tip, she'd love to. So you can hear the call from Grant. He needs a bit of weight to hang the bowl up. They're obviously looking to push the jack down the back. They've got a couple back there.
Certainly got arriving weight.
He's a bit high at this stage.
Can they take out that bowl at about 1 o'clock, JT? Yes, we certainly should get that Jimmy bloke back on.
I think
just need him to toughen up a little bit first, JT.
I've sent someone down to get a bag of concrete from Bunnings, Tone.
Might take more than one bag. Probably
See
not
what
quite
the
going to
head
come
is
back,
here.
unfortunately.
Favour at least one, which they needed to stop the run from the opposition, so that's a good thing for the Northern Gateway guys.
A little too close for us to call from here.
2. So the score is now 17-13 after 16. So the Northern Gateway guys are 4 up. Couple to play.
And that stops a 10-shot run. At one stage this was 15-3. The Mornington Peninsula pairing got it back to 15-13. The boys from Glenroy stem the flow with 2 of their own. 17-13, 2 to play.
Big end this one. Northern Gateway happens to score this end. It might make it awfully hard for the Mornington Peninsula boys to win from there, but if the Mornington Peninsula boys win the end, it's game on, I think, for that last end. Might be being Captain Obvious, but that's the way I'm feeling at the moment, Tony.
Nothing wrong with Captain Obvious. Victoria McGrath watching from Barwon Heads, of course. Our very own tournament assistant, Barb Gilbert, the Mayor of Barwon Heads.
Good to see resident funny man Brad Janet joining the crew and throwing Jimmy under the bus too. Brad usually has it on mute when he's watching the live stream, so he doesn't have to listen to Jimmy.
Oh, much less have to work out how to understand the guy.
He loves using the word geezer a lot. Hey, Tony.
He does. Good shout. Good shout. That'd be what Jimmy would reply with. Fair shout.
Scores across the green. Sand Belt is 9 in the ladies triples final, playing Metro West 4 after 7 ends. And Yarra is currently leading 3-2 over Ovens and Murray in the ladies pairs after 4 ends.
Well done on catching yourself there too, JT. Don't think I didn't notice that.
Just a nice little pause there.
Not sure I've ever met Brad Janet, but I do like him. Probably comment of the day. So Cooper Wescombe holding shot here. His second bowl, a great correction. I'm actually just hearing from Jimmy Whitehead's agent that we have secured him to come and commentate the remainder of the women's pairs finals. So just going through some last-minute contract negotiations.
I'd just say that bag of concrete's arrived, and that's why he's coming out.
Well, he won't let us deal directly with him, so we do have to talk through his people.
Cooper asking Jarryd to hurry.
It's to sneak around.
Handy.
Not quite, but not a bad result.
Graham Spencer, cold weather hasn't certainly gone. It is still around.
It's a predicted top of 14 today, but the wind is making it feel like a lot less. So a little promotion on that bowl from Grant Catterick. The favourite's still one to Glenroy, but
it's probably not the worst home from Jarryd there. No bowl was actually past Jack High at this stage.
Yep.
So with probably Grant maybe looking to turn his own over. He happened to get a bit of Jack. That's actually a really good home.
there's certainly one to Glenroy when I see that camera angle. Take a little edge off here.
Oh, nice little edge.
The Glenroy when I see that camera angle. Jack. Just a little edge off here. Commentary booth was asking it to turn,
nice
asking it to turn. Gets a nice edge.
Look, Cooper will be down here on his forehand. He'll be looking to get underneath the bowls of the Morning Peninsula team, and you have a chance of sitting the shot bowl or turn the jack sideways.
A little bit more purpose here. Could be a little narrow. Straight through to the keeper. Missed opportunity, but no real damage done.
Lana Flappers just joined us, who actually made it through to the semi-final of the ladies triples. She'd like to know score. Yeah, Sandbelt is currently leading 9-4 over Metro West after 7 ends in the ladies triples final and in the ladies pairs final. I do need a bit of movement here, but I think Yarra's leading 4-2 against Ovens and Murray after 5 ends.
Grant just wisely calling Jerry onto the forehand. He's got a couple of bowls there he can work through. Got it away smoothly, but is it wide enough? Looks a little tight for mine.
Still chances here for Cooper. He'd be playing a similar shot. He just fix his line and he'd be roundabouts.
So 17-13, second last end.
Cooper just a little wider this time.
Was running with it for a bit, then just didn't seem to want to turn back as far as he liked. Probably doesn't want contact on the jack here at that speed.
If it squeezes the other way, though, it's not too bad. Probably protects him a little bit from where the danger was.
A little further, and not a bad home for that bowl. So 4-shot lead, looked to be 1 down on the head. One down certainly isn't the end of the world.
No.
JT.
The last thing they want to do is go any more than one end. You can afford to drop one, be 3 up playing the last end, and if you play a half decent end, you'll probably be fine. You get over aggressive here and happen to turn your only closest bowl out. Well, it doesn't go the way you wanted to. Next minute you're all square or only 1 up playing the last.
Add into that, Grant Catterick's still got 2 bowls of his own to come. So Jarryd Davies on the mat.
I think he's playing the safer option, which is probably a smart move.
Doesn't mind it. Oh.
Jack comes forward, and the bowl of Cooper Wescombes is now shot.
Doesn't mind it. Oh.
Got a little bit of a spin there and
Did.
pop forward. It was a good bowl, but he also probably got even a more favourable result from it as well.
Our pleasure, Alana Flapper. Always good to see you. Well done this week. I'm sure we'll see plenty more of Alana Flapper.
Grant be looking just a draw shot here. You can see Jerry stick his foot out as he is where I want you, or inside that.
May not have the legs there.
No.
One bowl left for each skipper. Currently 1 to the Northern Gateway team.
Look, Jarryd to be drawing, trying to get another counter. If he just happens to turn it sort of to the right of screen there, you might be able to bring a couple in, but ultimately all you want to be doing is drawing it and making it hard for Grant to get shot here. It's out in a good grass line. Now it's just got to drop with the right weight. And there it is, there's 2.
Just asking how far short he was. Looking to add a metre to his last. Has about a foot, almost 18 inches to draw into. Unfortunately, I think that's a carbon copy. Question is whether it's 1 or 2. Just 1.
It is. So the score is 18-13 in favour of the Northern Gateway pairing. Cooper Wescombe and Jarryd Davies with 1 end to play.
I don't mind this from the boys, young men, I probably should say, JT. They have a 5-shot buffer, 1 end to play. Want to make sure they convert this into a state title. Key here for Northern Gateway is to nail the jack early and put all the pressure on your opponents.
Absolutely.
And he's done exactly that. Obviously with 8 bowls in play, Mornington Peninsula need at least 5. Force an extra end, 6 for a victory. What can Jerry's response be?
bowl here from Cooper. Good leading. You got one shot that's relatively close and then passes to the next. It's what you want to do in this situation. And the team's chasing 5.
We're just finding another level.
Big gust of wind there as Jerry played that bowl. Probably caused a little bit of what happened to him.
At what stage of this, JT, do you say, yep, we're going to struggle to make our 5 or 6, so we look for the kill?
Pretty early in this end, barring that Jerry unfortunately dropped short. You know, they probably had to be up. Yeah, they're already looking to attack to try and restart this end. He gets rid of one.
Probably aiming to get rid of the front bowl, almost more so open it up.
He gets rid of
Jarryd Davies saying we really need to start clogging the front, to which Catterick gave an audible laugh.
There was nothing behind, so there's no danger of a jack moving behind, so making it hard to kill is the next option.
The danger with trying to clog the front is he doesn't want to be too close to the jack. The advantage of being behind.
Yeah. I think he actually intended to be a lot shorter than the last one.
He did. We're going to see a little bit of driving practice here. Well, if anything, made it a narrower target. The score largely irrelevant now, given we already have 2 short bowls of Jerry's and a Catterick bowl sitting on the bank. This is purely about kill or protect.
Yes.
The Mornington Peninsula pair will be looking to kill at all costs. Of course, the Northern Gateway pair will be looking to protect at all costs. Familiar drop of the cloth.
It's actually a pretty good call in this circumstance, because if he happens to be tight and turns Jerry's bowl off the line, then they got a chance of maybe killing it the next, or if they trail it as he says, then they can kill the next.
Well, that's what he asked for. Brings it back for 2, but more importantly, the jack is now exposed.
Cooper will be looking to trail the jack himself.
Well, that's what he asked for.
The wind gets up here. I think Grant's thinking about this. If I get another 3 more there, I've actually drawn the match.
Just the query on the bowl of Jarryd Davies, which got skittled around earlier, whether or not it's actually in play or not.
As we umpire's been called to determine its fate
By Mark Law.
The use of the mirror will come out It's his choice of weapon when it comes to the boundary peg measure.
What's your choice, JT? Your mirror or scope? Or
Neither.
line of sighter?
I don't do them,
We just don't do them. Call for the umpire?
Exactly.
What do you think, Jarryd? You favour that's in or out? No idea. Jarryd just saying he didn't think it would come into play, so didn't bother saying anything. And we'll get the left or right arm from umpire Mark Law.
It's out.
Saying it's out. So that one is removed. That's out of play. So the situation remains the same. Mornington Peninsula holding 2. They need 5 for an extra end. 6 obviously for a victory, but that's looking unlikely.
Score update as Jerry goes in to play his last bowl, or potentially last bowl of this match. In the ladies triples final, Sandbelt is playing Metro West. The game has got close. It's only early days still, but Sandbelt is leading 10-8 over Metro West after 8 ends. And a ladies pairs final, which we will be transitioning to after this men's pairs final finish. Yarra is currently leading 4-3 over Ovens and Murray after 6 ends. Very tight game so far.
Some indecision here from Jerry. Really needs to add to this count. If he can't get another one in here, the only option for Catterick is to go at the jack. Well, he's done so. So this is interesting. If you're Jarryd Davies, JT, do you just take a ping at those 2 bowls?
That's what I'm thinking, actually.
I'm starting to think like JT, everybody.
One of them goes. There's no chance of this end being a 5.
Jarryd Davies winding up for big weight, looking to take 2 bowls out.
Oh. Well,
Davies
we have another dead end. That'll be
weight,
the 5th of the match.
to take 2 bowls out.
Nearly got the camera in your hand.
Interestingly enough, Jarryd probably preferring that didn't go out of bounds.
No, Jack in the pit, which it looked like for
Jack
a
in the
split
pit
second,
was looking good
was game
for a
over,
second.
basically.
But takes it all in his stride.
Look, took the danger out.
All the bowls back down, and we'll run it again. The situation remains
small
the
amount
same.
of danger.
Mornington Peninsula needing 5 for a tie and forcing an extra end. 6 for a victory. So we're replaying the 18th end here. Jarryd Davies, Cooper Wescombe leading 18-13. The boys from City of Frankston representing, of course, the Mornington Peninsula, Gerald, Schryver and Grant Catterick. This is their opportunity. The last end played out with Cooper Wescombe putting his first right on it, and he's done exactly the same here. See what Gerald can do. Doesn't want to be short. Fell into the trap of being short on the first one. This one is behind the head, which gives them options. Just had somebody raid the commentary booth. I'm not sure who this is.
Tone, how are you?
I do recognise the voice though.
I'm on the mend, so I thought I'd come over and watch the last end. I was shocked he went that. Could they have not Were they chasing 5 and they were holding 3 then? Was that what was going on? I saw as I was walking over.
Correct. Yeah, spot on. Chasing 5 for a draw. We're holding 3. Jarryd Davies went one of the options, which was either take out 2 bowls or take the jack. And as Glenn Davies has quite rightly said, never goes in the pit because he goes too hard.
Yeah. Well, we've already lost one in the machine shed earlier, didn't we?
We did. We had to swap jacks. So Jarryd Davies put one out of bounds straight over the bank and into the greenkeeper's shed. We can't find it, so we had to get a replacement. And it was actually at that point, Jimmy, that this game really changed complexion. Davies and Wescombe were leading 15-3. They then dropped 10 straight.
Yeah.
To get it back to 15-13. Been neck and neck since. They do have a little 5-shot buffer on this last end.
Well, he's done alright by getting 3rd shot here. So it's still an option if Jarryd and Cooper don't get any more bowls in.
Jeff Grieve quite rightly saying they're playing to impress JR, who's just sitting in the background. You'll see as we show the bowler on the mat, JR in the background, and Grant Catterick might be impressing JR too after that last bowl. Jarryd Davies happy to provide a little bit of cover down back.
Back tone.
Good to see you back. A little imposter just jumped in for a few bowls there.
He will be rejoining us at some stage.
He will. That was all we could afford.
So I've been informed that we're going to stop the stream once this match finishes, reset, and then do a new post and let everyone know that the new game started too.
Right. So a bit of camera repositioning to cover the women's pairs final, which has taken place on the very rink next door. So the situation still is Cooper Wescombe, Jarryd Davies are holding 1.
3 bowls from the Morning Peninsula in the head. Everyone's commenting on Jarryd's speed, his drives. I think his speed is attributed to his timing too, Tone. He just times it well out of his hand. Yeah, good bowl there by Cooper.
Just halves the jack over. So JT, if you're the Mornington Peninsula boys, how are you making 5 from here?
I think you're resetting again. This could be another dead end or attempt of dead ends. There's the call. Attack. Clear some bowls out. And or give you a chance to kill with your next one potentially.
So he's aiming at the Jarryd Davies front bowl.
Not far away. This is going to be interesting.
Well, it's good enough for shot. Also
So
gives him a little funnel at his front bowl. Come down on the right hand forehand.
This is going to be interesting.
Tuck the jack around the corner into a little nest.
Well, yeah, so I think Cooper will be looking to pass his own and sort of split those 3 bowls up of the Mornington Peninsula teams.
Yep, he needs to get among those 3. He's following it down closely. He's not wide enough to get among those 3, but if he can, not a bad spot. Lights are on here at East Bendigo.
So what they're worried about, as we can see from our angle, we think there's a chance of a bit of jack movement, 6 inches behind the head, but they're just worried that the bowl won't turn enough to do what they wanted to do. Let's have a look here.
It hasn't turned much on that hand, has it?
No. His weight probably hurt him a little bit, and he's probably a little bit wide too. I still think you can get down with the right weight. You just have to play the right weight.
It's tricky though, because he really needs to move that jack far enough to get there, negotiate the front bowl.
Only has to move, I reckon, 6 to 8 inches, Tone. So with 6 to 8 inches of weight, I still think it's going to turn enough to get to the jack and move it to where they want.
2 opportunities at it, JT, or are they now at the point where let's reset again?
Oh, it depends what Jarryd does here. Jarryd will be looking to potentially split those bowls up. If he can split them up, or even move the jack himself, he probably takes the danger away. Coming down here. Just ducks under.
Is there any value in Jarryd going hard at the cluster of 3
Well,
that they're
not
aiming
really
at?
lined up though, Tone. That's the harder thing. It's more of a single bowl target.
He's only got to remove one. It makes it pretty difficult. So the women's triples final, 10-8 Sandown over Metro, 10-8 Sandbelt over Metro West.
So you went with Sandown
after 9 ends.
Sandgate.
I did.
It's all happening.
Spent too much time in a TAB in a previous life. Ovens and Murray trailing. Yarra now 3-5 after 7 in the women's pairs final. We will move to that match as soon as this one concludes. We'll reposition cameras and remove the stream
Asking for it
over.
to hold. He needs to clear the front.
Well, he's opened it up.
Yeah, there's chances.
Making 5 and staying is difficult.
It's got to be backhand still. Turns through Cooper's bowl into the where the jack's potentially going to go. If he happens to be high, he's probably going to get home. And if he happens to move it himself, he changes the game. It changes the way of the jack going that way.
Yep. So trying to draw the jack on the backhand. High's okay.
The first part's right, I reckon. Get through Cooper, he's half a sniff. I still think there is a chance here, Tone, looking at the head.
You're a very optimistic man, JT.
Well, it has to be the perfect bowl, there's no doubt about that. But if you look at what Grant's doing, he's putting his finger where the bowl jack needs to get to. His bowl has to come with it. And I reckon why he's got a chance is the biggest issue is his bowl. He probably has to play a bit more weight now to get the jack at the angle where he wants it to go.
Yep.
But if he plays that weight, he's always a chance of getting to the bowl of Jarryd's behind it and then screwing off it.
Of course, this will be a miraculous bowl if he can do it to make 5 to force an extra end. Here we go. Grant Catterick on the mat. Right-hander's backhand. I fear it's narrow. It is narrow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will mean Cooper Wescombe, Jarryd Davies are the state pairs champions.
Well done to the Mornington Peninsula team of Jerry. Now I had a mental blank there for a second, Tone, but it was Jerry Schryver and Grant Catterick who made the final. It was a fantastic match. The young Northern Gateway guys had a great start, got out to a good lead. The Mornington Peninsula pair fought back, got within 2 at one stage, but the young fellas won the last couple ends and have progress and win this final. So thank you for everyone who has joined us this afternoon. We're going to take a quick short break. As we transition our cameras to the next rink, we're going to see the completion of the ladies pairs match. It is currently 3-5 in favour of Yarra over Ovens and Murray at this stage after 7 ends. And you'll see a Facebook notification very soon when we come back to live stream. Thank you, Tony, for joining us in this final, and we'll speak to everybody soon.
Thank you.
You can play it with friends, play it by yourself, and you meet a lot of good characters at bowls. At the start, we had no idea what we were doing, but there's